Why, hello there, universe. Happy day of the week to you. I am both Miko and a little tired, so I'm hitting you with the BOGO. Holy guacamole. I am low-key just a little bit ready for bed, but we're getting up anyways. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff to get done here, huh? Oh no, look at our power. Why is it so bad? What happened? It's because our windmills are being gunked and our solar panels are also being gunked, and they'll be fine in a little bit. They just need to stop being gunked. All right, so there's a few things I want to get done to start. I think we need to do some housekeeping. So trying to get it so that our mall actually is like a mall would be good. Maybe set up a main bus as well. I didn't get the opportunity to really do a main bus meaningfully in Ultra Cube. I guess I sort of did, but not exactly. So don't eat batteries is a good note. I forgot that happened and now I'm sad about it again. Please fix power, solar heat stuff. We did get solar heat stuff. I guess we'll investigate solar heat stuff and go from there. It looks like we need aluminum and heat pipes. Heat pipes are made in something peculiar. It looks like it takes pipe 2. It's made in medium assembler and it takes water as well. So how do we make pipe 2? Looks like just through plastic. All right, cool. So let's start by getting a few medium assemblers down and start some automation for that. We'll hand feed it for the moment. We could certainly set it up properly later. Ideally as part of our mall, but are we going to be behind on power? Or are we ahead? Yeah, we're still behind on power. Oops, that's the wrong one. I can handcraft pipes. The only thing I can't handcraft here is heat pipe 1. So as long as we plug this in here, I could grab the requisite materials and we can craft pipe 2 on the way. It looks like we craft them quite quickly too. The reason I'm not hard committing to this at this exact second is because I'd rather get like an idea of how things function. I think I'm going to change what we do here as well and set up a few chests to store these materials for now. Particularly when it comes to like aluminum sheets and stuff, if I don't have them on hand immediately, they're not going to be as useful. Let's go ahead and remove some of those though. Get ourselves some inventory spots. I'm trying to think about what I want to do with the mall down the line. I think the mall... So we have a few options, right? We know that these pieces all make things in the mall. We just have to make a call later on to see like how much stuff is made at each requisite step, really. Because if it turns out that all we really need to do is make the gears and stuff on site, which is what I'm expecting we're going to need to do, there's no real reason for us to waste our time setting like 1 lane of every different type of material, 12 lane mall, or I guess it'd be a 14 lane mall to start. Probably a little bit over the top, so we'll avoid that if possible. Holy cow, I'm tired. All right, so we have heat pipes, which can transfer up to 30 megawatts of heat energy. We're now crafting them slowly. We will be able to make more over time, but I want to experiment and figure out how these solar collectors really work. So it generates 150 kilowatts average heat before bonus. I don't know why it says before bonus. Peaking at 240 kilowatts midday, heat tapers off at higher temperatures. You know what? I was thinking that we wouldn't need to worry about the sun, but it does make sense that our solar collector would be sun reliant. You are enormous. Okay, so you just produce heat over time. Honestly, that's kind of a vibe. I'm not gonna call that dumb or anything. It does have a neighboring bonus, which means we're gonna want them to be adjacent. It looks like we just put them side by side and they're good to go, I guess. I'm gonna make a few more of them and we're gonna experiment a little bit. I assume the intent is just put water into it. We're making steam with a lot of extra steps, effectively. I don't know if extra steps are the right word. So it's a 10% neighboring bonus for each thing adjacent to it. 180 watts is not nothing. Like, that's not nothing for like how little we would need to put in for it. I think that we're not going to take down any of our other heat sources. But this is interesting. So we also have a heat exchanger, which is, I imagine, the heat exchanger that we would have when traditionally doing nuclear. Which is really just a spicy boiler. Which I guess in this case is a spicy combustion chamber. Okay, it feeds like that. So the min temperature for this to pop off is 165. So this actually can't even begin to pop off until we have a neighboring bonus. It would be too cool. And even then it would be kind of tough to pull off. Even with adjacency. What can we burn? We could turn water into steam with 55 water turning into 270 steam. We could do the same with saline water and the same with seawater. Seawater outputs a boatload, but then we have to dump the wastewater. Saline water does even more. So the thing about seawater that makes it so tempting to start is we don't need to process it at all. Saline water needs to go through one building, seawater doesn't. This being said, if we end up with an abundance of any of these things that we're dumping, then it seems like a logical decision to use it. It's a shame we can't use wastewater. It's a shame we can't use brine as well, like brine being the extra product rather than like the primary thing. Then again, I have a boatload of saline water sitting right here, apparently, that's only being used for the, What the heck? I never finished the air filters up there? What in the heck is going on? I keep thinking I have things finished, and I look and there's a bunch missing still. I don't know why I've been so disorganized. Right now our power is okay, surprisingly, tonight, just because the wind turbines are like working and we had like a chance to build up. So it's kind of a really tough balance to draw. Oh, I just realized something I could do. Assuming bots can access storage boxes, which I'm pretty sure they can, I could take the Roboport out of my inventory. I'm still so sad about that battery. We'll replace it one day. I can smack it down here. Would construction or logistics bots do this? Surely construction, right? Where are my bots? Are they in my suit? No, I just didn't see them. Put those there. Put down the storage box here. Grab a bunch of refracty thingies. Okay, they're not interested in building with them. I didn't put them in there. That's probably why, actually. Thinking about it, if they don't have access to them, it does work. Alright, so I can technically move this Roboport around when I'm not using it to just kind of like cover an area in delicious Lego blocks. So I'm going to start doing that, I think. That way we can passively get Lego blocks put down. I guess I could put the Lego blocks inside of a yellow chest too, but we only have one Roboport right now, so it doesn't matter too much that I just manually moved it. Right, so the temperature is going to get gunked at night as well. Makes complete sense. I mean, we can always store the steam is the thing. So I think that's going to be the plan. If we're going to set this up, we're going to need heat exchangers. I don't quite know the ratio we're going to need for heat exchangers to solar collectors. I imagine it's like a bunch of them to one of these. Consumes 1.8 megawatts of heat. Yeah, so we'd want like 10 to 1, I guess, because this is with the neighboring, I guess it'd be even more technically. That's 11 to 1. It's 180 and 1.8 megawatts is 10 of those. That's actually quite the line of them, surprisingly enough. I don't think it's too bad to work with, but it's good to know. I hope my numbers are right on that one because I've really missed a lot of numbers in our playthrough so far. I'm so heckin' tired. I don't know why I just did not sleep. Like, I mean, I slept. That's the issue. Is I've been sleeping, but I just haven't been getting rest. Which is kind of like ultra messed up. Because like I'm doing everything right. I'm going to bed. I stayed in bed for way longer than I should have today, but I'm still so tired. Okay, there's a boatload of aluminum wire. I don't actually think I needed wire. I think I needed sheets, but that's fine. Probably no downside to have it on us either way. I think getting this set up before working on the mall is a good idea. Look at the little bots working so hard. Proud of them. I think being able to passively set that up is going to be quite the boon going down the line. Oh, nuts. I didn't realize we need steel rods. What's the recipe for this as well? Right, it's just the sheets. So steel rods. Are you a steel rod? You sure heckin' are. I sure hope you do. Really glad I just set those bots to do that and then kind of like forgot about it. For now, I could set up one line of these and we can try to make more over time. When we have bots and stuff, we can have it passively be improved. But again, I think the plan's going to be 11. Oh, right. We don't have bots to do anything. That's fine. I miss my 6 bots. Normally, I don't rely too much on my own bots, but I guess it's just different when you end up starting with bots. Normally, I guess I rely on roboports or nothing at all. Where is it? There it is over there. All right, so we have not nearly enough. We're going to need some more aluminum sheets and some more heat pipes. The heat pipes are crunking out right now. I guess we'll get 1 stack up. I mean, it's not like crazy, but should be able to store an okay amount of steam. I really hope I have it right. Don't eat batteries is such good advice, though. Past Miko really has a way with words. I don't know if current Miko can keep up, but she's going to try. That's for gosh darn sure. Maybe I should nab some more aluminum sheets back. Looks like we're low on hydrogen. It's good to know. Alright, I think I can just pick this up now and get my sheets back. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, so I'm going to make 12 of these. We'll do 1 exchanger at the end. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it. Probably somewhere near here. I guess underneath here. But I also don't want it to be too close to what we're doing right now. I could tap into the seawater coming from this line down here, though. That could be a plan. I'll do that, I think. Morally, I don't know if it's the right thing, but I'm going to do it anyways. Heck, I was like, this is probably not going to be long enough. Is this dumb? This feels like way too many. It seemed right in my head, though, running the numbers. Okay, so we pick our recipe. Can we flip these vertically? We sure heckin' can. I'm going to go with the seawater one. Wait, yeah, okay, I was like the seawater one. It does exist. I was optimistic that this would line up, but that's fine. So seawater goes in, steam and wastewater goes out. So I'm going to hopefully bring the wastewater up here first. We might need to make some pumps because that's kind of what this mod's all about. I think this is the wastewater line. It sure heckin' is, so. Silly me trying to use my bots once more. I have to remember my bots have moved on to greener pastures. more Lego-shaped pastures in particular, but pastures all the more. Right, so I want to try a one-way pump. Because I keep using like the not one-way pumps. I think a one-way one would be good. Oh, Flip, thank you for the Ultra Cube. I was feeling kind of like empty without it. But now I feel like I've made it. I've cubed successfully. So we have steam. How are we going to burn steam? I think our only way to burn steam right now is through... Oh, also, how are you doing today? It's nice to see you. I don't remember if I said that. I'm so tired. How do we burn steam? We burn steam through those weird engine things. I forget what they're called. Solar panels look cool. They are kind of like weirdly curved and I kind of vibe with them. So they're standard turbines, right? I guess they're just turbines. So generates electricity from compressed gas or steam. We have steam. How much do you eat? What is your consumption level? We have one steam tank here which gets used up on occasion. But you're being fed from something that's not like typical. Your max power is 1 megawatts. It's tough to see how much you actually eat, is it? Oh, no, there it is. It's 186 steam per second to output 111 power. How much steam will we make? Did it say it on there? I always like look at the wrong part and go, this has actually like no recipe on it for some reason. Okay, so you output 235 steam. I can really only power 2 boilers with this. Is that right? Or I guess not boilers, but turbines. It's like barely. I guess I could potentially run them most of the time, though. Twitch says it's your stream anniversary. Really? I guess it would kind of line up with like the first time I streamed ever. Like a gorillion years ago, theoretically. That's bizarre. If I know, and I would have... I don't know if I would have done anything different. Surely I would have thought of something fun to do. Nullius is fun enough, though, right? Oh, these have throughput on them, too. Yay, stream anniversary though. I mean, that's exciting, I guess. It just really makes me feel old though. Okay, so why aren't you getting steam? Because you lack the temperature required. Surely this is the right idea. Because they get a bunch of neighboring bonus. The required heat is 165. Maybe this is like over the top. I was thinking if I had a bunch of these, they'd be able to maintain a good chunk of heat throughout the night. But now I'm not so confident. Nothing else isn't like a tremendous loss or anything to set up. Assuming you can make steam consistently, though, these should be good, right? You have different modes, right? So... all the modes have 90% efficiency, which isn't ideal. I should probably start storing it and storing a good chunk of it and keeping them all on this like operate when nothing else works mode. Thankfully, the medium tank 2s are pretty efficient space-wise. I mean, they're slightly better than vanilla tanks, I suppose. Whew. I really don't like that tanks need like a gorillion pumps. I'm hoping I can put down at least 2 tanks without it yelling at me. Cool. Alright, you're working. It's just a lot of steam being eaten. Dang, that's actually like so little being output. I wonder if I can do one on both sides without losing any efficiency. Surely, I mean, logically. I would just need to hook up things roughly the same way. I don't have another one. I mean, this makes sense to me. I think. I hope. Heat is a confusing thing. I already talked about how fluids are confusing. Forget that. Heat's even worse. I'm kidding. I think I would take heat over most fluids. Because fluids are like pipes, and pipes are unfortunate. Okay, so that's good there. We'll plug in... if this design like works and is functional and not like ultra cringe, we can always reuse it over and over again too. But if it's ultra cringe, we probably want to avoid reusing it over and over again. Truly a tough situation to be in. You know if placing a solar panel above it helps the neighboring bonus? Ooh, that's interesting. That is a very peculiar question. Let's go check it out. I don't have any clue, but I certainly can make at least a handful more at the moment. Okay, so that is a 20%. 20% might be the max. It does help it. Okay, so we actually want a thicker field rather than a longer one. All right, interesting. Well, that does change the plan a little bit. Looks like my bots are done up there, so I should go rescue them. So you want like a cluster. Is that how solar panels normally work? I guess it would make sense. There'd be a wider surface, kind of. I mean, it wouldn't really matter if it was a really long one or a wide one, would it? I guess with heat distribution, it would make sense. I guess, hypothetically. Does that count as a neighboring bonus for both? Counts for one. Does it count for either? It doesn't count for either. Okay, so the piping is going to be a little bit weird. So let's say we do a 3x3 to start. Yeah, not super intuitive since they only connect siders. That was kind of what my thought was, but this does seem to be notably better for way less solar collectors. I guess we can just set them up like this to start. It's a shame that these don't have, actually, that would be good enough temp. I guess I can do a chunk of them here, actually. Wait, I guess this wouldn't be so bad. I was gonna say it's a shame they don't have throughput with them, but I guess if they have multiple outputs, it doesn't really make sense for them to do so. Let's make a few more heat exchangers, which are not, oh, they are heat exchangers. I was gonna say they're not heat exchangers, but they totes are. But I'm not making any more heat pipes either. I don't think our water can totally keep up with this, though, is the issue. I'd like to at least try. We can always get more water without too much trouble. As long as we can keep dumping the excess stuff, it doesn't matter, because it seems like water is like our unlimited resource here. I'm going to go rescue my bots. I'm going to go set down a box to make some more heat pipes since we can't handcraft those ones. And we need some water for it, so heat pipe. Gonna go let that build really quick. Gonna go over here and recollect my bots. Look at how good they did. I'm so proud of them. Did they miss spots, or is that just like what the ground looks like there? I don't like that. Okay, picking this back up. And then we should be good. That'll charge. We have our solar panels. It's daytime. I can't believe I ate a battery cell. Probably gonna be suffering from that forever. Maybe it's the rock picker thing clears the ground for. Oh, that would be interesting if so. I forgot about the rock picker thing. That thing kind of goes crazy, to be honest. Alright, that's enough heat pipes, hopefully. I need stone bricks. Kind of thought I had like unlimited stone bricks. That's crazy. I mean, I probably do. I just haven't grabbed them in a while. That does seem to be roughly unlimited stone bricks. Alright, so I think we needed 4 of them in total. No, I think we needed 5 unless I put one down. I think I might have put one down though. We'll make 4 for now and save the rest. I totes it, so we'll be fine. My bots can go back to helping too, which is cool. Okay, so this should be good. This is wastewater in... Alright, right, I need to set the recipe as well. That would help me visualize. Cool, that looks good. So, wastewater out, seawater in. We'll set up the wastewater to start. Plug it in over here. And there's our wastewater on this side done. Bring it across just barely over the top there and Our wastewater line is up here normally, but we're gonna have to move it slightly, unfortunately. Just because of where this plugs in. I guess I could technically swap everything else. Let's swap this whole side, actually. That'll make it a lot more concise to finish later on. So just a few V inputs, and then we got what we want instead. Have this come out here, have it go up here as well, and then plug it in, and we're good. And it's going to be like, you need a pipe, and I'll be like, okay, cool. I hate that. Cannot mix fluids. I'm guessing this is residual seawater. It was. Okay, cool. I was like, please. My poor brain. Go easy on me today. I'm struggling. Okay, so this is the steam output. That means we want that to be there, which is good looking. Bring this across here and we'll try to plug in the steam input on the bottom here as well. You can do it. I appreciate it, Wise Wolf. How are you doing today? It's nice to see you. I'm so heckin' tired. Okay, the steam goes all the way up and out. Now we need to do the input of the seawater into all of these. So seawater can plug in here. And then go over to here. It's a lot more pipes than I would have expected, to be honest. And then we'll have the seawater come out here. I mean, that's really like what this mod is to me. A lot more pipes than I expected. Seawater is good on this side, and then we just need the seawater to be good on this side as well. They're too cool, but I think it's because it's still early in the morning. Hopefully. Okay, so seawater will come out here. And then attach down here, and that should be sufficient enough. Eh? Is this not seawater? Ah, okay, this is an old pipe still. I was very confused. Okay, so now this one's starting to make steam, which is good. These ones were placed down later, but are they getting enough heat is the question. Oh, heck, it just became nighttime. Maybe this cluster is not quite strong enough. It can output 180 watts legally, which is above what we would need, I think. Maybe, or maybe not. Tired to have work tomorrow. Besides that, looks great. Or besides that, great. Hope you're doing well too. I'm doing well enough, other than tired. Gonna lurk today? Well, I appreciate you lurking. Hopefully you can rest up and be ready for work tomorrow. I think I need to make this field dramatically bigger. It's really weird to see, like, I understand how you eat stuff and how you have like a temperature requirement of 165. This should be able to hit 180. I'll just wait till tomorrow. Maybe it'll heat up. They should allow you to do like rubbing your hands together or something next to it, creating friction so that it can gain heat faster. Like manual heat creation. So that will also be able to feed the turbines we have a lot more efficiently too, assuming that they can all run. But that I don't know. Theoretically, this will be making roughly a little under 1400 steam, or maybe a little bit over, one or the other. If that's the case, we've like dramatically improved our power. But I'm just not optimistic about it. So we'll look at turbines. This being said, may as well cautiously prepare for it being solid, right? It might not suck. I'm gonna move these really quickly as well. We have a little bit of space for them. I think when its bots can just like pick up a rock. I don't really get how they do it, but I'm envious of it, to be honest. They're just built better. Thank goodness at least these have a throughput. Or a flow through. I don't really know the term for the pipes that smooch and can go through. But I'm glad that they have it. They should, because they're like vanilla steam engines or whatever they're called, but still, you never know when it comes to mod stuff. Heck. I'll break out the old fantastical Miko design. Which is to say, using pipes to fit in power poles. Okay. So you're making steam, I assume. Yeah, you're kicking on because you're barely getting your temp. It is still presumably early in the morning. Your max temp should be, or your output should be 210 watts, right? Your temp should totally be going above this, though. I guess you use excess temp and burn that for fuel. I can follow that logic. Maybe it just needs a bit to kick on. Okay, it's like storing on occasion. Let's just leave it for now and come back. If nothing else, it'll store some emergency steam. It's better than nothing, I believe. I mean, it's making power out of nothing, so it might just spend better to spend the materials on more, whatever the heck it's called, though. Wind turbines. They're kind of ripping in the power production, though. And they go all the way down. I guess it's just if they're needed or not, though. Because if we're at satisfaction, I mean, that's something. We'll be able to store a bunch of steam when it's going. Maybe you have more boilers than you can satisfy, but it looks like it's working. It's so hard to read how many boilers you need for the heat. I guess I just don't really understand how heat ends up functioning in the end. Because, like, you should be able to output a high enough temp. Logically. And you're kind of rocking, and you are not rocking. But now you are rocking. Whatever, you're making steam. Good enough for now. Kind of. Maybe we'll have a really hot day. Maybe it's just like spring and it's still like, I don't know, 45 degrees out, which is really impressive that we're rocking 165. Although I guess it wouldn't really matter because most of the heat will come from the sun itself. Don't eat batteries. Good life advice. I'm going to take a break from the power for now and go ahead and start working on the redesign of the mall. So I think what I'm going to do, which is what I alluded to before, I was like, wow, I can't believe there's no materials here, is that I want to rip down most of the buildings that aren't a core material building. So like, we'll have aluminum be made, but it'll just make the plates specifically. Or maybe we should just have the ingots come down, actually. Right. Never mind. I think we want the ingots to come down. I think I got ahead of myself because when it comes to these materials, many of them just take ingots. Like this takes plates, sure, but the rest of them just take ingots. So I think our best bet is to just have the ingots on a belt and then make things on site. The steel right now doesn't actually do anything. Oh, that is something we need to take into account though. Let's make sure that we have our gunk distribution. I think it's gravel. I couldn't kind of commit to gravel though, so I'm going to just call it gunk distribution. There we go. Because like right now the steel is doing nothing except filling a handful of boxes, which is fine. We'll probably want it to do that down the line. This way we can have a lot more organization, and then making the mall will be a lot easier to put down a large chest of shame. I guess we can get rid of a bunch of blueprints. We don't need those ones. All of these things that have been blueprinted were just things I copy pasted and didn't necessarily want to keep as a blueprint. Because like our steel production is still fine. Our steel or our aluminum production is still fine. It's just like putting it somewhere that's less cramped, I suppose, because we are really hurting on space. So I think the plan's going to be to move everything up and left for mall stuff at least. I don't know if that's where I'm going to put everything down the line, but for now it'll be sufficient. And now last but not least, we want to bring our iron down as well. Probably going to make a lot of these bigger too. It looks like our graphite is starting to hurt a little bit, so ideally we'll repair that as time goes on. But I really want to remake them all. It's not even like that much stuff to make either, so I'm gonna disconnect this for now. Fill up my inventory with far more ingots than I have any right to have. And we're going to redesign... Somehow we're going to redesign this. We still have the spoilage line. I don't know how else to describe it other than a line for spoilage. It's not literally spoilage, but it may as well be. Which is pretty cool. I guess theoretically I could just break it off of this line here. That shouldn't change anything meaningfully. We definitely need to ramp up our production though. But at least for now and for the mall, this should be okay. I think one of the important things is getting down these lines to start so that I can like use them later. We can always just like plug in the lines if we redesign an area. Cool. So that'll be iron going down as well as steel adjacent. We have one more material actually, right? We have these silicon ingots. Are silicon ingots used for enough to justify including in the mall area? I haven't used polycrystalline silicon one. There's not too many recipes for it. Lubricants one. Ooh, I like that plastic recipe though. 45 plastic. That's probably how I reacted last time too. So what are these used for? Solar panels and selector circuits and logic circuits. That's pretty cool. I don't hate it. I guess I can mall the silicon. There's not really a massive downside to it. What does this require? I mean, that requires... That's the thing. I don't want to take the silicon. If I want to take anything, I think I want to take these thingies instead. I don't know. I'll leave it for now. Maybe I should just move all the mall like over here slightly. That's probably a better idea. Let me do that. We'll have it come up near the steel instead of near the aluminum. Yeah, my inventory's gonna fill with garbage again though, I know. I just can't help it. I find myself filling my inventory with garbage all the time. It's a real problem. Okay, so we'll have that go up exactly like that. The underground was actually the most ideal thing there, so I'm glad that that's how that went. Jokes aside, let's bring it up over here instead. Maybe I should have the carbon dioxide go back into the system. I feel like that was something we were hurting on. It wouldn't be that hard to accomplish. I'll make a note for that. Reuse CO2. Surely it's an O, like oxygen, and not the number 0. Okay. Okay, cool. This is better. It also gives us a little bit of space above the steel to redesign or to expand out the aluminum. It does appear that our graphite is like dead right now though. Like straight up done. So I'm gonna have to go look at that and try to figure out what in the heck happened, because I don't know. Cool. I like the spot better. We can also, I think, make an automobile now, or like are about to get the research for it, one or the other. Cool. So let's go figure out what happened to the graphite. I assume we just have a higher demand than we can meet right now, which is not that big of a deal. I also want to go swing by and check on the solar power as well. Can we make that automobile? Not yet, but we're getting close. Every time I see it, there's steam in the tank and I feel like it's working. I wonder if I could get by just adding a few more of these for like sneaking in some neighboring bonus. I don't think it'd be like the most eloquent solution ever. But I could sneak a few of them in. I have them anyways, so may as well. Probably won't make a big enough difference. That one just connects across, so I'm not gonna use another pipe on it. I mean, there's no reason to not. It'll improve the neighboring bonus. This one still can't totally run. But look, sometimes there's steam in this tank, and that's cool, I guess. It's interesting they can store energy as their, like, output. Like, the energy is just being stored in here because there's no reason for them to run right now. I was expecting it to store more as steam, but I guess it makes sense if it's like a physical thing that they burn. Okay, so... what else was I doing? I don't remember. I swung down there to check on 2 things. So the malls... oh, right. It's a graphite. Focus back in. Locking in. Figuring out why the graphite is so ultra gunked. Plastic is mine of propane. I assume is an issue over here. There's a lack of carbon monoxide. There's a lack of carbon dioxide. All right, let's plug in the carbon dioxide like now then actually instead. Graphite is struggling because carbon monoxide. Cool. This is a dioxide line. And it's, again, it's really close. I should have done this in the first place. I imagine my thought process was it's so, like, ridiculously far away that there's no real reason. But I do think there was a reason. I was just being a little bit lazy. I think oftentimes when it comes to a mod pack that's particularly punishing, being a little bit lazy can be, not so good. In a lot of aspects in life, really, but sometimes it's just so much easier. Cool, so a little pipe junction there. You'll no longer be venting any of it. Theoretically, this could stop, whoops, this could stop running because the CO2 could back up. I don't think it will. It makes very little of it, doesn't it? I mean, honestly, carbon dioxide coming out at 25 each is not bad at all. Part of the issue is probably that I just took all the stuff off the belt. This is how the base is normally going to run, so we certainly need to work on it. So it's the carbon monoxide. The carbon monoxide is just not running because not enough carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is made... isn't that made in like that huge field up there that I set up? It heckin' is. How are we still behind on carbon dioxide? Would that be a fluid? Certainly it would. We do consume... let's do it by the minute. That was too hard to see. We're slightly behind on it, which is shocking, but I think that's more of a show that we're just not producing a much and we're consuming every little bit that we have. I saw output full is here. So we have too much nitrogen. All right, so there's where our problem lies. The nitrogen is being put in a tank over here and then vented, but not at a fast enough speed. So we just want to set up a few more chimneys for nitrogen. First time we've had to do this too, which is kind of exciting, I suppose. I don't know if exciting is the right word for it, but probably another use for nitrogen eventually. But for now, the atmosphere is going to be its resting place. I think they're in standard mode. Oh, should I switch them over to the other one? I didn't even realize. Okay, cool. So we're making much more carbon monoxide now. Hopefully that'll help, but we're still gonna need to improve that more regardless. I'd like to probably double or triple it. Which one's standard? Oh yeah, it's when they're inefficient, right? Which one form do we want them to run on? This is whether or not energy produced is required. And this is unmet demand specifically. Guess I'll have this be backup turbine specifically. think standard will charge accumulators, backup won't. I wonder which one's more optimal. Yeah, I have no idea which one's appropriate. I mean, I could just split the difference. Why don't we just have the outer ones store and then the inner ones will kind of just rocket when we don't have enough stuff. They're all just really kicking on as they want anyways. I think what we might want to do too, assuming that our power is going to get gunked again. If it can survive the night, I'm not going to sweat it, but I don't think there's any chance we do. But if it survives the night, I might just focus on redesigning the solar panels to see if I can output more heat from them. I don't really know how I can get even more though. I guess I would just have to make different clusters. It's tough to figure out what the exact number we need is. It looks like the wind blew the correct direction, which is something so bizarre that we're so like reliant on the wind blowing. It's not even nighttime. I thought it was night and the solar panels were off, but look at just how much power these produce when they're actually like willing to run. Very bizarre. Okay. Right, graphite should be slightly better now, but we might need to improve it further. Just because the demand for it is so high. It's certainly rocking now, which is cool. Market improvement on the graphite. Which should also be consuming more hydrogen. I feel like graphite was a byproduct of something I saw. You could do graphite combustion? Certainly it's too rare to use for that right now. I don't think we have the ability to compress energy yet, but that is convenient. Potentially, it could be that the compress ratio is actually equal there. Methane pyrolysis. We don't have medium furnace too. I wish I had a button to like toggle to specifically the things I have unlocked. Fatty acid pyrolysis kind of goes crazy. Literally all those are super useful. Cellulose burning. I wish I had heckin' wood chips. That'd go crazy. We'd have so much graphite. Also, nitrogen's access too. I assume this is way far ahead of us. Biochemistry. Oh, it's got a little tree on the rubber this time. Yeah, it's a little bit down the line for us for sure. What do we have for our current research is right. It's this kind of stuff. It still requires the purple science I haven't set up yet. That is fluid recapture. Generates electricity from compressed gas. Wait, this is closed turbine? Is this just like a better turbine than my normal turbine? Is that the same turbine? Recycles working fluid used for energy production. Wait, that seems kind of crazy. It has this efficiency though. It reclaims the majority of the uncompressed working fluid though. That's kind of nuts. Hold on. Maybe we want to do that. Assuming I understand like reclaiming the way it is. Getting the fluid back is a little less efficient, but getting the fluid back looks like, yeah, that seems kind of nuts actually. Like I'm super interested. We need a bunch of medium tank tools. I think that's the only other requirement. Please don't eat batteries. Okay, we're gonna need to improve graphite production too. Packaging is... I don't know what the point of packaging is. I guess for shipping things places. That makes a great deal of sense, actually. We really need a better way to get graphite. I mean, I could scale the living goodness out of stuff. It's not that bad to get in practice material-wise, but... I need to scale the living goodness out of what we're producing right now. We are plus on carbon dioxide, so that's something. Perhaps I planned for that initially. How much do you consume per second? 14. Let's look at the dioxide. I should totes be able to supply a few more of those, right? The hydrogen seems fine as well. Or maybe not fine? I don't see any hydrogen in tanks, so maybe we're not so fine on hydrogen. That's monoxide, which we do actually need. Maybe I just do a cheeky little second one for the moment. Hydrogen goes into here and then gets pumped into the system. This pumps away. What the heck was I doing with hydrogen? I swear, the stuff I do when I'm tired in this game is... Oof, it is a lot to take in. I'm like looking at these pipes. What in goodness' name? This should be easy enough to yoink from. I think that this spot's fine. Aw, heck. I mean, that one's fixable pretty easily, thankfully. Okay. So this should be... What fluid is this? I imagine this is hydrogen. It's in a hydrogen line. Just kidding, this is methane, it looks like. Okay, never mind. I see what I was doing before. I really need to change the pipes here. Holy guacamole. Okay, so now... Is our power like ultra gunked? It's super gunked. I need to offload the water, but that should be easy enough to do. Again, this is just a quick and dirty so that it can get into the line. This is so scrungle-bunked. Do not ask for a pipe. You are so ridiculously needy. My goodness. How dare you need a pump right now? Please tell me the spot here works. I'm really hoping it does. I'm pumping outward, so I'm thinking it will. Thank goodness. Okay, so we've doubled our graphite production asterisk. Our power is still awful. That's still like a pin that's going to stay at the top for now. I think we need to focus more on that right now as well. All right, so I got the rest of these bins. Let's go look into the other power solution. I'm guessing it's a few more one-way pipes because I don't use them very often, but I think I'm going to switch to one-way pumps as well. We can save power by switching to those too. All right, cool. There's our checkpoint. We can now queue up the research for fluid recapture, which recycles working fluid. So like, even if it's less efficient, if we could reuse the fluids, that's actually crazy town for us. As we don't produce enough fluids, which is kind of a skissue. I will accept that. However, this could change everything. Our SPM is not totes rocking it to the point where it'll take us, it looks like 6 minutes to finish a research that takes 8 of them. Presumably because the power is so messed up. Look at this. These stupid wind turbines, they sometimes just go, you know what? We're doing the minimum for like 2 days straight. And other times they're our maximum power source by a lot. So annoying. What fluids do you have in mind for a closed turbine? I don't have any fluids in mind. I'm really receptive to all fluids. If we can make it work, we'll make it work. At this point, I'm just thinking about the idea of how this solar farm is not conking as hard as I thought it was going to. Or I guess optimistic that it would. I should look into what things it can burn, but I was kind of optimistic it would have recipes I could see. Thankfully, it's been a quick 6 minutes when the wind turbines opt to turn. They're starting again, sorta. There they go. Then suddenly our power demands are like totes fine for a while. Put down like 5 times as many solar collectors, right? That's what I'm thinking about. It's why I was kind of clearing the pipes over here. I think I'm going to do both, though. I want to, like, attack on all fronts here, especially if there's something convenient. So let's look at our new fancy schmancy turbine. I'm going to steal one of these to make it, I think. Since we can't really run all these anyways right now, we can always make more in a little bit. Alright, so close turbine. You can take steam. So the fact that you can take steam leads me to believe that you're just better than these. Perhaps I'm goobing on that. I can absolutely accept the fact that I might be out of my mind. But my initial feeling is that you're just simply better. And you output water, which I can use in heat exchangers actually to make steam again. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So it can boil water for 270 steam. You produce 60 water per input. You consume 55 per second. We'll have a little bit of an excess, but this should be really easy, actually. Hey, is this going to be closed on its own? I suppose it won't be, because it consumes more steam. So it's not fully, but being that it produces normal water is actually kind of a vibe, to be honest. I could have like a... Oh, you know what? I should probably have... All right, here's the idea. We have like the solar stuff that gets it going, starts making the steam. We have a second one which consumes the water, maybe. I guess I would still need it in the solar area, though. Maybe this side does normal water and this one does... Let me just move one of these over here so I can see what the output is for normal water. It's just steam, so there's no waste. So if this side does like the default one to start it, we can have a priority on this one making steam later on. Hold on. I think I'm cooking something. And then we just put like a metric butt ton of these here. I think I've peaked. I think this is it. Being able to reuse the water in a different recipe is very nice. And this way we can just kind of leave it and not worry about it being part of our main system. We're going to need a bunch more solar panels though. How many more? I have no heckin' clue. But I do want to put down a ridiculous more solar panels, or ridiculous amount more solar panels. So let's start there. I don't think there's really a situation where we can under-design... Oh, I could have made it with the water down there, actually. Not that it matters too much. I don't think there's a situation where we can under-design our power at this point. I think we're far too in the hole to be able to under-design. We'll have to nab this over here, though. Let's hand make some pipe too, so we can get some heat pipes popping out. I wonder how many solar panels is right, though. It's really hard to tell. Alright, so solar collector goes here. I guess we'll start just by making it a square. I have to imagine that a square is going to be more efficient. I mean, maybe there's like a an up and lower end of it too, though. Like, I probably don't want any of the boilers on the end. So let's say I'm running 3, right? Maybe 5 high is good. Maybe 7 high is good. But I think I want to not ever collect from the edges is like priority number 1. I don't know how wide I want it to be, though. We'll use this as our baseline, though. I think being able to put in seawater and recycle out fresh water is really cool, though. I guess it's not technically fresh water because I think fresh water is its own item, but still. Okay, let's grab some more of these heat pipes. Let's make a few more of these. Just kidding, we need glass? That's crazy. I don't believe it. I kind of forgot glass had a purpose. I'm glad we set it up a long time ago and just didn't really end up using it. Definitely wishing it was in a box now, but I don't think we need too much of it. Yeah, it's only 6 per craft. So how big do we want to make it? I'm thinking 7 by 7, maybe. So 150 kilowatts per solar. So, e.g., if you want 10 megawatts, that's 67 panels before counting neighbor bonuses. That makes sense. I guess what my issue is like, I understand that they're 150 kilowatts per panel, like, or per collector, whatever. But What does that mean in temperature? This is probably going to come off as really dumb, and I'm super sorry about it. Should I also be connecting? I guess I shouldn't be connecting these. I could connect them with heat pipes in the middle as well. Should I be doing that? That might be part of the play and help the heat distribution too. But that increases the space as well. I think I really just want the top ones like giving neighboring bonus maybe. But heat pipes between them might go crazy. Just on the sides, perhaps, rather than the middle. I don't know. I wasn't considering using heat pipes at all, but now I'm thinking about it. Because surely it'll make a difference. Alright, let's move these over just a little bit. Put down some of these. I feel like heat pipes between them reduce neighborhoods. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm thinking ends is the better idea. That way we can benefit from the larger scale. I was thinking initially betwixt them. So you had the right idea, but I think that this is a lot more logical. Also, yeah, I just dropped a betwixt. I can't help it. I'm tired, so I'm breaking out the circa 1400s dialogue. Oh, I'm so tired though. I don't know what it is. It's seriously crazy. Like, I swear I just haven't been able to sleep lately. But I have slept. I'm pretty sure I've slept. Just feels like I'm not sleeping anymore. That's the most insulting thing. I'd at least like rather just be tired because like I was up really late because I was either irresponsible or couldn't fall asleep. Like, they're not ideal, but at least it makes sense to me. The alternative being I was up too late because I wasn't up too late, I just slept, but it doesn't feel like I slept is so messed up. Truly the universe playing a cruel joke on me. About to say betwixt is a choice word. I reached deep for it. I would apologize, but I think I'm a little bit past apologies at this point. Okay, these closed standard turbines go crazy though. I think this is going to solve literally all of our problems. No other researches we can do, but I'm down with that. Looks like pumping 2 exists. Pump 2 is 6,000, extends and can overflow one way. Okay, they can normally do that. I forgot about them having the different features on normal pumps. I don't know many scenarios where we'd want them. Should we try a 5x5 is the question. I guess we'll run the numbers, right? Each one of these wants... We have a max consumption of 1.8 megawatts. Well, with the neighboring bonuses, these actually get quite high. I didn't realize they'd rock 210s. Not bad. So like, let's say we average, we'll say 200. That feels logical for this size right here. So to satisfy one of these, we'd need 6 of the center ones to satisfy one of these. This is going to need to be a lot bigger. I was thinking about it for a moment, but it's going to be a lot bigger. It's possible I could scale this down as well, but we really need way more power. Unfortunately, I'm not really in a situation to be able to mass produce these right now. Am I out of landfill for the first time? And can I make literally no more? I hate it here. I think we'll do it 7x7 and hope that that kind of rocks it. We could always expand it out later. For now, the factory's running. Everything is nice and comfy. It looks like the graphite is doing much, much better as well. Not perfect, mind you, but better. Okay, so what did I need? I need to make more solar panels, which means I need to make more heat pipes, which means I guess I'll keep handcrafting a bunch of pipe 2s, because pipe 2 is much cooler than pipe 1. I think we're out of... Ooh, we're gonna have to handcraft... I don't think we can handcraft the, whatever they're called, aluminum sheets. I guess we can actually, because it shows them there. I think what I'll do is just set up a quick chain here to make aluminum sheets. Because they're immediately useful. And it's going to be a lot nicer when we're doing this build to just kind of swing by here every now and then and have it done on its own. I really feel good about this power solution, though. I was feeling kind of hopeless about it when we started, so good to feel like there's some chance. So we'll have this be aluminum sheets. So we want this to be plates over here and then sheets over here. Yes, I know our power is ultra gunked. We're working on it. It'll be fine in a little bit, probably, or it won't be. Either way, it'll be fine. Probably. Oh my gosh, walking through the chemistry area is like so rough. I did not respect how much space pipes on their own would take. Hello, H-Monk. Nice to see ya. Welcome, welcome. How are you today? Oh, I didn't actually make any landfill either. Heck, that was why I walked away initially. I would always have sand and gravel on me too. So we've moved some of the stuff out of the chemistry area. I think basically everything's going to want to move. But not right now. Sand, so hopefully we can make some landfill now. Which time is landfill in? Did I miss it? It's right here. Okay, cool. And surely there's some gravel we can nab. That was the color we were using before. Twitch says, congrats on your stream anniversary, so congrats. I appreciate it. I was also shocked to learn that it was my stream anniversary, because I think it's referring to when I streamed for the first time, like, gosh, it was probably like, I would guess it was like 6, 7, 8 years ago. Which is before I was like meaningfully streaming. But it is cool, so thank you. We'll take it. We'll take the small victories. Nice little surprise for a tired day. Okay, we can make some landfill gray, which is what we were using before. But most people who try don't stick with it this long. Yeah, I mean, like, especially when starting the stream, it's obviously quite demoralizing when you're effectively streaming to yourself, but it turns out I kind of just talked to myself anyways, so it wasn't too bad. It's also just fun to stream. I don't know why. I suppose I just like the company a lot. Cool, so let's go make some more heat pipes. Oh, there's so many heat pipes in here. Lucky me. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is currently 4 wide. Oh, this is going to be so big though. Okay, so we need a bunch more still. It's looking like 17 or 18, but this is good. We're making progress on it. I'm hoping this size will be sufficient. If this size is sufficient, we'll be absolutely rocking it. And if it's not sufficient, it's gonna be good enough because I can't really justify making that many more of them. I mean, I totally can, but this field's already quite large. I think this will be good. Because again, we would need 6 central ones to feed it. So this is like a cluster of 6. I think these might even be fine. Yeah, they're 195. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, it's almost good enough. I think it'll be slightly behind with a 7x7. I'm also not counting like these ones at all, but I should be. So this should be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some more, whatever the heck it's called, aluminum tubes. It's probably not tubes. Actually, I'm kind of shocked that tubes isn't like a thing in any Factorio mod. Surely it is. Who doesn't love a good scientific tube? Sweet, so we can make some more solar collectors. We still don't have quite enough, but we're getting there. I really want to remake the whole chemistry area. I feel like I've learned enough to like design it better than I did the first time. Like pretty heavily too. Like I don't even think it's going to be close how much better it'll be once I work on it again. Okay, so we need to make a good chunk still. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 of them still. But we're almost done. What do we need? Looks like just heat pipes currently, but we're also going to run out of aluminum sheets as well. It looks like I can handcraft some from the plates I have, so that's not a big deal. It's really just the heat pipes holding us back. We just have the one maker. I'd like to set up proper automation for this if this is going to be a main source of our power going forward. Solar collectors are really neat though. I like them. This is like totally a tangent, but I've been thinking about going to an aquarium lately. I haven't been to one in so many years, but it would be nice to go. Oh, Nullius, nice. Nullius is nice. Kind of difficult for someone such as myself with experience such as my own, but it's a good time. Okay, so we need more glass as well. 8 left. We've made one. We're almost done. Hopefully that'll be enough. We'll set up the other side using the recycled water. I really don't know how many turbines are going to be able to power, though. Either way, I'm super glad that those were a research that was really, really close for us to get rather than effectively unobtainable. Aquariums are fun. I agree. I haven't been to one in so many years, but I used to love going when I was younger. There was this super rad place when I was growing up too that was I don't know how to describe it properly, but it's it was kind of like you go there and then you sit back in a chair, right? And it reclines back and you look up at the the ceiling, which is this big dome. It's got a bunch of constellations and the space and stuff, and they would talk for a while about it. It was super rad. I wish I could remember the kind of name it had though. It was so many years ago that I went. Okay, cool. We're done. Planetarium thing. Yeah. Planetarium thing's the right way. I don't know a good word for it, though. If planetarium's the right one, then I guess it's planetarium. Alright, rad. We need one more heat pipe. I lied. I thought we had enough of these made. We need even more heat pipes, but we're almost done. Probably. This should have some more heat pipes in it anyway, so we can nab those real quick. 15 of them. I think that'll be sufficient. We'll pick it up now. Reclaim our pipe 2s, which is much better than pipe 1. Our city's supposed to be opening an aquarium later this year. It's exciting to see. That's rad. Hopefully you have a nice time if you end up going. Cannot build on marsh. So true. That actually is marsh. I didn't notice it. Okay, cool. Big solar array get. We're truly rocking it now. So I'm going to set up now. I guess we'll just do separate ones. In the center specifically. We're going to have this side do water. It's already really hot. I'm optimistic about this. I think that this might be exactly what we needed. So with this doing water, we're going to want some water inputs and some... I guess we don't have any outputs, do we? Alright, cool. I mean... we could still do the same general design. Having only 3 makes it tough to make it symmetrical, though. So I suppose what I'll do is just have it go underground. I mean, no, it's a waste to do that. I want to keep them as close to the heat as possible. At least what I imagine is the center of the heat. So we'll just do 2 different lines outward. Normally I try to keep the pipes a little bit further apart, but Nullius really just does stuff to me. I totes put that in the wrong spot, which is super unlucky. Alright, that's much better. So this is going to be the water out. Or, this is the water out. That was the steam out. So steam is on the left side, water is on the right side. Hey T, how's it going? It is good to see ya. Oh, thanks for the sub, though. 27 months. Holy cow. Absolutely absurd, but I do appreciate you. It does mean a great deal to me, and you know I will also hydrate up for that. You also stay hydrated. I haven't drank enough water today. I'm so tired. I apologize. I'm probably going to be complaining about that for a while on stream today. So where do you output your water? I assume it's here. So setting this up is going to be a little bit different than normal, I feel. Because we're going to want to set it up in a way like this, where they can output water in the center, rather than kind of have them connect like we normally would. Which makes it a little bit more awkward for power. I guess it's not that much more awkward. No, it is a little bit more awkward. I guess we can space them slightly. That makes it a lot easier. We'll just do this design. Alright, cool. So we can move this like steam part wherever we want. This part doesn't matter. So we'll move this up to kind of line up with what we want over here. We'll have it so there's an underground spitting up here and then going along there. This line of steam isn't really necessary anymore either. Let's make a few more of those turbines. I think they're like really inexpensive, all things considered. So these will take in steam. They're facing the wrong direction, actually. They'll take in steam, and they'll be like POG steam. They'll output water. So we need to take that water and then put it back into the system. Two things we need to do with it. One is put it back in the system, and two, have something set up so that we can have that water spit out into the ocean. Ideally, it would be even better if we could just reuse the water, because I feel like it's kind of in short supply. Maybe it's not. Maybe I upgraded it at one point and it's fine now. Oh no, we should have like this should make less water than we use actually, so this shouldn't matter at all. I don't know what I was thinking about, but it was absolutely wrong. The amount of water we'll make here will not fully sustain these, so it shouldn't matter at all. Okay, so output full. Suffering from success, too much power because the wind turbines opted to turn on? I don't believe it. It can't be true. Now we don't get to see if it works or not, because our energy output is too high. I mean, if nothing else, these are full of steam right now, which I guess is cool. But like, I don't know if it works. What the heck? Your temperature is so high. I guess you only burn temperature when you're going through stuff. You don't actually... Oh, you have the wrong recipe on you. So let's fix you as well. Cool. I should maybe set up a pump priority as well. I could have it so that this side has higher prio, but I'm hoping it won't matter. I'm really shocked that we're not using any of this power since we were struggling with power the entire time. Each of these outputs 1 megawatt, which is quite significant. Consumes 200 steam. These produce 235 steam per second. These produce 270 steam per second. I'm hoping that kind of balances out. I mean, we might be able to get away with 6 of them, but it's tough to tell. I'll set up 6 for now, and we'll just hope and pray. How about that? Keep it simple. Leave it to divine intervention. Ideally, once it's nighttime, as weird as it sounds, the power will turn off because the solar panels will go off and the wind will stop, and then we'll just kind of be fine. This should be a pretty stark improvement, though, assuming that actually runs. Alright, cool. So they're on. Why is your output full, but yours isn't? Did I... Okay, I see. You're just starting to store power now. Okay, maybe our power is too good. I really hate that the turbines are playing strong now. Yeah, where are these points, buddy? Like, where you spiked to literally nothing. You're looking real convincing all of a sudden. They're like, we're going to be your place. We're going to start working now. Yeah, I'm on to you, solar panels. Or wind turbines. Sorry, solar panels. Throwing flack at you. Hopefully that is, like, sufficient enough. Let's go work on them all in the meantime. But we will check on the power as time goes on. The very nice Nullius feature turbines can be configured to priority consumption. Oh, I forgot about that. We could switch them to be like on proper, right? It's like the green one or whatever. Oh, hold on, let's see. Okay, that's perfect. That way I can get a good test of it. I completely forgot you could do that. I appreciate the reminder. Honestly, they just kind of go crazy, actually. It's working exactly like I thought it would. Or we just make enough steam here. We are seawater boiling. Are you successfully able to output your water is the question. So you're getting backed up because there's no priority here. So what we should do is set up a couple pumps with some logic, I think. Whoops, what is that? I don't need a barrel pump. Cool, so this is not steamed, so I don't know why I did that. What we'll do is we'll just make it so that... Oh, actually, is that going to be, like, possible without combinators? I do have combinators of some kind, though. It's graphite and polycrystalline silicon. I'm trying to think if I could do it without it. Without it, I can check the contents and have it balance. Can I just do like one is greater than other for activation? But how would I do that? I guess I could have a separate tank in between them that it's reading. Can a one-way valve connect to a circuit? I kind of assumed it couldn't, but that's a very good point that I should try. I become too pump reliant. Okay, no, they can't. So I guess there's some value to pumps altogether. Only wire will be enough? Interesting. What's a good way to do this? I feel like one extra tank over here solves the heck out of it, so I think I might just go with that. Because this tank is only coming from that side, so I can just connect it to over here and then have it be that there's one more pump here as well. And this pump shouldn't need any logic, assuming I've got this figured out, right? Which I might not, because me and circuits still don't really function well. So if I do this, and I'll have you enable, disable if steam... High pressure steam is different. Cool. If this steam is... I guess... Yeah, that should be fine, right? If this number is greater than or less than or equal to 0, this will kick on. But otherwise, it'll just keep using the steam from this side first, which should be fine. It'll only kick on if this side stops producing steam, so therefore we won't ever have an issue with too much water going through the pipes or anything like that, which shouldn't happen anyways. This will only kick on once this specific tank runs out of steam, and then it'll kick on and start using the other one. But for now, it should be just fine on that side. Cool. And with this pump here, there's not going to be any steam flowing backwards, which I guess we could turn this into a one-way, actually. That would save a small amount of power, since this one is not necessary. So I'll just put a one-way valve here instead. I haven't really used one-way valves at all, but they seem efficient enough. It does limit the flow rate, though, by quite a bit. I didn't realize they were only 300. That might just cause the steam to get gunked, though. It's certainly plummeting. Yeah, no, we need to actually put a pump there. Silly me. I think it's a little bit too slow. If we get a fit quicker one, it would be fine. Whoa, the pump's kind of freaking out, though. There we go. Yeah, it's rocking 1200 almost pumping speed, so it's necessary, but no big deal. This should still be sufficient now. Cool. So leave that as in, we'll go over... So please fix the power stuff, solar heat stuff. Probably can take that off for now. Hopefully that's an okay improvement. I think we can just build upon it now. But regardless of this, I hate that the turbines are absolutely rocking now. Regardless of this, we'll be making a good chunk of power with the exhaust turbines, which seem to function. I mean, they're doing enough for now. Probably need to redo this mine at some point as well. I'm a little concerned that we're making holes in patches already because I'm not quite prepared for that yet. Now, why did you break over here? A lack of aluminum hydroxide, which is from a lack of caustic solution, which is shocking because I believe this is the only use of caustic solution in the base. Did I disconnect caustic solution altogether and that's where the problem came from? I swear everything is just me walking over to an area and realizing something horribly broke. We ran out of sodium hydroxide. That's actually just crazy. I cannot believe that. We had so much of it for so long. I guess it makes sense since it was going down at one point. I guess didn't realize how much caustic solution we were doing. That's what it's used in, which is great. Oh, alternative recipe. This is cool. If we get aluminum ingot 3, which I think is really, really far away, we'll be able to output the sodium hydroxide, which we can use for caustic solution, which is nice. So you currently output from saline electrolysis, which is what we're doing right here. Brine electrolysis actually spits out way more of you. We probably want to set up brine electrolysis as one of these machines. I think oxygen is this thing we're always abundant in, right? Yeah, we have way too much oxygen, so I'm going to switch one of these machines over because we're currently like overflowing with chlorine anyways. This should be hopefully easy to fix without changing up much. This is a saline water pipe, so I'm going to disconnect this from over here. It looks like my outputs are not totally rocking it currently. Okay, cool. Now they should be fine. I just need to get the brine over there, and I think currently we're just dumping all brine. I think this is the brine spot. We have an excess of water as well. Yeah, the brine just goes here and then gets dumped. This doesn't have a rule in it right now, so I'm going to just set this up over here and have it so that it'll dump any excess brine under arbitrary, but we'll say 5,000. There's no real reason to stress it. Cool, so we've got brine that functions. I'm going to need to dump water as well, which I was concerned about. I really need to redo all these pipes. Kind of going right through me. Thankfully the brine comes out. Oh no, the brine comes out right here for sure. This oxygen pipe doesn't actually go anywhere, so this brine is fine. I was thinking I'd need to figure out another way to offload it, but this should be fine. So brine goes out here and then up here. I think this is our only place I'm making brine, which is kind of surprising. Regardless of that, we need to start dumping excess water, clearly. Actually, no, something's gunked. It's not that gunked. This is water coming in from other things. So this one is only pumping when we need more water. This was initially designed, I see, with my intention being water being the priority. But being that we now produce too much water, it's not making any. But I'm going to want brine. So I think what I'm going to do is... Oh, we have a dump there for it anyways. Never mind. If we have a dump set up, it shouldn't matter at all. We want to run this machine. So I'm going to just disconnect that. I was like, we're going to need to dump some water, but just disconnecting that one will be more than sufficient. Can probably even get rid of the pump there and reclaim it. That way, we're always in a situation where if we produce over 6,000, this kicks on and then dumps it back into the water. So that should be just fine for us, which is quite nice. And now we're cooking. Now, the issue is our chlorine is kind of gross. That's been a problem that's manifested a few times so far, but we've been struggling to get rid of it to my memory. So how do we deal with chlorine? I don't think we can just vent it, right? Yeah, it says void in +1+, so I think that means that we need to turn it into something else and then void it, is what someone explained or we'd figured out. We got rid of the plastic PVC recipe and switched over to the fancy schmancy one. That'll make hydrogen chloride, though. Can you dump hydrogen chloride? No. You can dump calcium chloride solution, but that takes lime, and I don't think we have that yet. I guess turning it into hydrogen chloride is probably our best bet, but then what do we do with it? Can make a hydrochloric acid. We do need to make lubricant at some point. I'm going to temporarily dump this because we clearly have way too much. Just to get everything running again. Chlorine's such a pain to get rid of, though. Because we have hydrogen chloride. We have a bunch of it. And hydrogen chloride just goes into a tank here and then is used in a single recipe. I think. It's used in voiding the stuff up there, I think. This is an unnecessary pipe. Now, it was used initially in our plastic, but our plastic got changed. Thankfully, we're ahead in plastic, but the plastic is also entirely off because of this setup over here. We've run out of hydrogen again. I didn't think running out of hydrogen was possible, to be honest. Okay, no, there's an entire thing full of hydrogen here. Something's scrunky. The hydrogen just doesn't reach anymore, I guess. Yeah, I'll say. I broke the hydrogen. Cool. At least that makes sense. Breaking something I can work with. Okay, cool. So the plastic is fixed. My goodness. The caustic solution still isn't really fixed, though. With the crazy demand on this and no way to productivity it. I mean, maybe the demand's not that crazy in practice. I could move this over, but then we'll make even less oxygen, and I'm a little bit concerned with making, like, no oxygen at all. I don't think I set up the chlorine output properly, did I? I thought the chlorine was going out there. I'm being a little bit silly. What's the easiest way to get this chlorine plugged in? Ooh, that's actually gonna be really tough. I guess it's probably easier for me to just flip it like this and have the chlorine go out that way. This will still need to connect down here, which we can do over here instead. And then this pipe can be reduced like that, and then the brine should be much, much easier to add now. I need to move everything. I don't want to do it, but I know I need to. But also it's going to be such a pain. But we'll do it, but I will complain about it, at least a little bit. Okay, so that's that in, and we just need to get this down here, and then this should be working better. I didn't realize it was broken from the start, but apparently it was. Okay, so now you can dump your hydrogen. You make more hydroxide than you can actually drop. We'll give you 2 inserters. Now that's great. That's actually like super nice to see that we make so much of it. Okay, maybe this machine just is fine. I didn't check the ratios of it. This produces 1.5 per second. This eats 2 per second. This makes 0.5 per second. This is actually literally perfect. So never mind. Saved. Apparently the brine here no longer connects, so I should probably reconnect the brine. Cool. Oh, you're working on right. The mall like several hours ago. Brine is not connected. I appreciate it. This is all backed up now. The aluminum should be good to go. We're successfully making alumina again. Crushed bauxite's not flowing. Ah, right. That like scenario that I was like, it's very unlikely this will happen, but currently it's not being used for literally anything, and that's why. This should all be fine now. Let's go back to redesigning the mall. I know it's a bit of a tangent from what we were doing before, but the power seems to be okay. I don't think we've dipped to 0 in a while. "24 minutes ago, our grid battery was 0. Which is surprising. It looks like it was before we started using these turbines. So it's totally fine. That was before, and this was the last big issue we had. So our power has been totally vibing the entire time. Let's start the mall. I want to remake everything we have down here. We have like a sort of mall down here. Don't eat batteries. I can't believe I voided one of my 4 batteries, and they're so freaking... It's going to be like another 20 hours to get them, probably, unironically. Maybe they won't be so bad. Oh, no, it's a whole extra science. Never mind. Oh, battery one, how I miss you. I could almost make that, too. Granted, I only have like 3 of the things, so it's not really almost. Regardless, let's go ahead and... I'm going to copy them all. I'm not going to copy them all. This section is now disconnected, so I can take down this. Probably want to set up some lights as well. I should have set up automation for those, but we'll do that in the new mall. So what do we want here? We don't necessarily need sandstone bricks. All we're doing over here is there is science being made over here. So we probably want to leave some iron coming down here. Good to know, because I didn't realize science was being made here. I kind of forgot science was a thing. It's been a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and branch some of the science down here, or some of the iron. I think all it needs is a little bit of iron, and we'll leave the stuff that's there, and then we'll remake everything else. Or basically everything. Congrats on your stream anniversary. I appreciate it. I was shocked to learn it was my stream anniversary too. But I am happy to hear it. It does make me feel kind of profoundly older. But at the same time, it should be celebrated, right? We're still cooking, if nothing else. You know what? Let's actually put back these machines as well. We're gonna make them all proper, but we'll leave the stuff here, and I'll probably remake a bunch of things that are here. This would go, I guess, here and here. This would have been... At least it's very easy to tell what was here. Just so this will keep making science. I don't want it to stop making science down here. Cool. Then we can have this go across here. I think only these two need the inputs for it. That needs to go there. That is one too far across, so I gubbed that one up, but we'll fix that really quick. Move this power pole as well. Alright, sweet. Good enough. So this will run again. I was going to rip it all down. We'll probably rip down most of it except for the science. I want the science to continue to run. Thankfully, all the science needs is these two things here. So all we really have right now is inserters, belts, and power poles. But let's go do it in a different place. Plastic's another thing we're certainly going to want. Currently, I have plastic and graphite kind of meet the same belt here and just kind of live their best life. I think it's probably time before we do them all to separate these into their own free belts. Because they basically match until here and then they stop matching. So let's go ahead and rip that down really quick and redo it. Oh my gosh, let me through. Okay, cool. Cool. So how do I want to do this? We have plastic coming up here. I can easily double load plastic. We have 3 lines of belts here. I think what I'll do instead... I was going to have it go right here, but I think we'll double load the plastic. Why are you not running? Got a propane. I assume that's just normal. We have too much ethylene. That's fine. We'll look into that in a second. I think what we'll do here is move this over here. Have it combine here. And then just go up this line here, because it should be adjacent to where we need to bring this Oops, we're out of undergrounds. That's another thing. We never set up undergrounds and splitters and stuff, so that's why it needs to be mall time. You make 0.5 per second, so it should be fine to have you load on a single side of the belt. This being said, I kind of want to have you double load your belt. We're going to want to set up another one of you later anyways, so this would be a good thing to start with. So the plastic normally cuts across here, so we'll bring the plastic down as well as the graphite down. Oh my gosh, you need to make more underground belts. That's totes fine. No big deal on that one. We'll probably get rid of one of our geology research makers since we don't need that many of them to start with, so we'll cut across here without any trouble. We might need more of them, but currently the science requirements have been low, to put it lightly. Perhaps I have it too good though, and I'm gonna end up regretting saying something like that. So what I was thinking was, this is the graphite line. The graphite line currently feeds in to, I think, the side of everything. It appears to, which is good, because we want it to not break something. I can't tell if it does up there. It totes does up there. So this is the graphite line right here. Whatever we do with this specific line, as long as it's graphite, we're good. It doesn't matter meaningfully past that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this for now. Bring the graphite light down here. Can your second graphite producer no longer has an output belt, by the way? Do I have a second one? I thought I only had one. That would explain why. Oh, you're right. I forgot this one was over here. Good call, good call. In the biz, we call that a convenience. Now we are stronger than anyone thought was possible. I completely forgot I set up the second one temporarily. I want to redo this whole area effectively. Not like some of this stuff can just move, but we've moved out a good chunk of stuff, like moving these over here. We definitely need to do that with the smaller machines. Cool. So now we're throwing out double graphite, which will be a nice boon for us. The plastic isn't loading. I assume it's just because of that whole propane issue. And the propane issue is because we have too much ethylene. We have too much ethylene because we don't have any benzene. We don't have any benzene because we have too much butadiene. That's not true. Those are separate. We do have too much rubber. That is a suffering from success kind of situation for sure. I'm really surprised we made that much, actually. Alright, I'm gonna just take the rubber. That should keep everything running for now, at least. And the plastic normally goes right up here and then sneaks around here and goes up once more. So I think what we'll do is we'll continue where it goes up here. We'll have it go here, and then this like snaky belt here, which is really like in a bad spot though. I mean, it's really not that bad, but being that this just goes up to here, this will probably be what we use to bring plastic up to the bus. But I think I want to do it somewhere a little bit more concise because it's not needed in this main area at all. It's effectively just cutting through because it's convenient. So I'll set up a splitter over here. Ideally, we'll cut through the middle here. That'll be a little bit more logical, at least, and it fits perfectly. So it's clearly a match made in heaven for us. Oh, the box of shame is in the way. Brutal. I guess we'll go over it. Whoops. Don't want to mess up the graphite, though. That barely fits as well. Perfect. So now we have the plastic going up here. We do want to do one more splitter so that it can go over to these over here for now. It shouldn't meaningfully matter, but that way if we need more power poles, which we don't, but if we do, it'll be able to make more of those in the meantime. Sweet. I think plastic is important enough where it's going to need to be part of the primary part of this mall, so I'm going to combine it along and have a line of plastic. I don't think it's anything else we really need. Other than the fact that my inventory is really full, so I kind of want to dump some stuff into a large chest before we move on. I have a bunch of sodium hydroxide. I kind of want to go put that in the actual machine, though. Not that it really needs the help anymore. Oh yeah, the caustic solution's going up, so we're totes fine now. I'm glad that that was like a simple enough fix for it. I was really concerned when I saw it turned off. Granted, this is probably just not running. No, it's running the entire time. Even better. Cool. So now we have our basic stuff for making the mall. Let's figure out exactly what we want. Oh, hey, Rev. How's it going? Very good to see ya. Alright, step one, we want inserters. We want to set up belts. We want to set up splitters, and we want underground belts. I think that's like a pretty good starting point for what we need. We also want pipes then as well, which means we're gonna need a stone line up here. So we need, I guess technically we make pipes elsewhere. I could just use the pipeline. I forgot to hit the button in the previous. Oh, thanks for the 27 months subs regardless. That's also crazy. Damn. Time really applies, huh? Either way, I super appreciate you, and I hope you've been doing, frankly, just stellar, to be honest. Where's my pipeline? There's my pipeline. So this line is pipes. This one has literally never output pipes in its whole life, which is crazy. Can I make it so that these go onto the same line? The answer is a resounding yup. So let's do that. So now we have pipes on two sides of this. All the gubbed up stuff will go out and into the offloading line. But that way we can just grab pipes really quickly because we already have them set up in a way that's satisfying near the stone. We don't need to overthink it. So we'll slam a splitter down, grab pipes, and then bring the pipeline up alongside this. And then we have everything. So pipeline here, and then we'll bring this up. Granted, I think we actually need underground specifically, so maybe I have the wrong idea. Let me rip this down really quickly. I think double loading the pipes here is not a terrible idea though, so let's do that for now. But I think it's undergrounds for these specifically, so maybe we'll just want to make those there still. Yeah, so it's underground pipe 1. To make those on site is a little bit more annoying, simply because it takes sand and we need to put sand on a belt. We do have sand on a belt though. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this just so everything kind of goes to the mall. Currently we have it so that our pipes get stored here anyways, which is fine, but it'd be more ideal if we can have the pipes stored with everything else. That way we can kind of keep track of the supplies we have. So I'm going to bring down this area here, and we're just going to bring the sand up as a secondary one as well. So this will be our pipeline, and we'll just store pipes at the end of the line. We already crafted it, so it's no big deal. We're going to be having some weird stuff in our mall, though. Okay, so that's good over there. And now we'll grab sand as well. I think once we have sand, we're kind of looking okay to start doing stuff, though. Heck, I'm going to have to underground the graphite a little bit, which is not the end of the world. I guess I could drag the sand earlier, actually. Never mind. Okay, so I think this is sufficient now to get the basic stuff that I want to get working on. I just ran out of belts. Thankfully, we have some more in boxes, hopefully, because I didn't rip down the old mall. Running out of supplies before we get the next one set up would be mildly unfortunate, but what I'm going to do is start disconnecting stuff like this as well. We've claimed 400 belts. That's a sufficient amount for now. Leave it as is. Count the large chest one. Truly an upgrade of all time. Okay, so I don't have any more medium crafty magoos, so let me make a few of those. This one will be making pipe to ground. We have the sand here, so it should be fine. This one will be making motors, which we need for something. I always search it in the wrong thing every time. I don't know why. All right, so that's plastic, iron plate, iron rod, iron wire. So we have the iron coming through on its own as well as the plastic, so we'll have to make a lot of it on site, like I said, but I think it's more than worth it for these designs to just kind of like keep them isolated as it appears. I think I looked at the inserter further down the line too. We can research another one. It takes inserter 1 to make. So with moving them all and everything, having inserter 1 being made over here and then being able to expand outward into inserter 2 will be nice, rather than having everything kind of clumped together. So we'll make a little bit of space when making stuff. We can theoretically belt them all in the same spot to pick them up. I don't think that's necessary. Once we have bots, it'll be a much smoother experience down the line. But for this, at least, we're going to want iron rod as well, which I think isn't a foundry, actually. It might not be, but I think it's foundry that makes iron rod. Indeed it is, as well as iron gear, which is another foundry. So we'll start with the inserter first, I suppose. That's not a foundry, actually. That's going to be another one of our crafty wafties. So there's iron gear, there's iron rod. So we have these set up now. And then there's motor, which is going to be rod, wire, plate, plastic. So inserters are actually like fairly expensive, surprisingly. Gonna move those machines down there so that they're kind of isolated. These are just going to be tracking where what we're going to be making as we go on. For now, do it one at a time. So again, the plan is just going to be to use the mall as a mall. Perhaps I should have done belts first, actually. That would have made a lot more sense, but I've already started inserters, so we'll commit to inserters. I think we can break down this aluminum plate slurper for the time being. I kind of forgot it was running the whole time. We do call that a certified whoopsie in the biz. It does explain why the aluminum was like never going up. Alright, cool. Cool. So our plastic really has not expanded out, which is not too shocking because of the propane issue. We really need to fix that though. Maybe I should tank ethylene for now and dump it. Once you have chem plants in your mall, you'll know you'll have it made. Oh, chem plants in the mall. Truly my Achilles heel if I've ever had one. Plastic, iron plate, iron rod. So let's start there. Let's start making iron plates and iron rods. So we will do a splitter for the iron. Need a few undergrounds as well. Have the iron go up here, and then we'll have... I guess I'll do map mode to build. It's always easier this way. Underground here. Underground here. Here, and then here. We can drag our iron out like this, and then we can start making the pieces of the puzzle. Again, I think I'm going to make everything for its own build, rather than have like a central line of all of these. It feels a lot more logical to me. I think this is them all. We don't need it to be running 100% of the time because we're not going to be consuming 100%, or I guess one inserter every half second. We shouldn't be. If we start consuming one inserter every half second, we can start panicking. How about that? So these both need iron rods and iron gear wheels. Or I guess only this one needs gear wheels. They both need rods. So if I can direct feed the rods, I think that'll just be like ideal effectively. This requires iron plates, which we still need to make over here. So make this one into iron plates. Direct feed that, and then it's just iron wire. Oh my gosh, you need so much iron. Iron wire is going to be... Is that a raw one? It's from rods specifically. So we will move these two around. That should be fine. That's kind of a lot of inserters, but I think direct feeding is going to be the play. It feels right, at least. Cool. So this requires plastic, iron plate, iron rod, iron wire. I'm going to pull plastic down here. This requires iron rod, iron gear wheel, which are both direct feeding. So as long as we feed plastic in right here, this build will be done. Now, we are going to take advantage of our new power, which is... There we go. They're not actually changing shape. Long-handed inserters. We have long-handed inserters now. So I'm going to output the stuff a little bit further down here specifically, so we can build more inserter stuff out this way if we want to, because currently it's kind of being clouded, and in fact maybe it'd be better to just flip the whole build. I'm gonna do that actually. It's not meaningfully different, but it is kinda in the long run, because if we flip the whole thing, yeah, it should be fine making it right here. If we flip the whole thing, that way we can have these inserters go out here. So if we do an inserter 2 build, we can do it on this side rather than have it be constrained down here. I want everything to kind of go outward for at least this part of the mall where we're making our basic supplies and whatnot that is going to keep us going. I'll limit this to 2 stacks for now. Have the iron come out here, and then we need to make it so the plastic makes it down. I think I'm going to quickly, in the meantime, start tanking... whatever that one thing was. I think it was benzene or something. The one that we had way too much of so that the plastic can flow again. I will find a solve for it eventually, but right now is not the time. Ethylene, that's what it was. I could have sworn we had ethylene on lock, so I'm surprised that it's a problem. But for now... Oh, it's going to yell at me. It's going to want to pump almost 100%. It didn't... Like it was meant to be. There we go. That way we can store some ethylene. So hopefully in the meantime we can get plastic flowing again. I guess we could theoretically scale this down too if we don't make nearly enough. What is it? Propylene? Propane. If we don't make enough propane to feasibly run this all the time, we could scale it down so one of them runs on propane and the other one runs on chlorine. That's probably a better idea actually. I was thinking the double upgrade would be good, and it's not bad in theory, but obviously if they can't keep running, it might be too much of a hit to justify. What was the recipe for chlorine? Let's go plastic. It's ethylene and chlorine specifically. Is ethylene right here? What was the machine that it was in? I should have checked that while I was there. A chem plant. Literally, like, we're just not using enough chlorine at any given time anyways. We're always backed up on it. So maybe this is more of what we need to look at. While there are multiple recipes, using recipes that we've, like, potentially, like, grown past, quote-unquote, just to get rid of old materials might be better, and to strain our newer materials less, too, which is, I think, a really, really big boon, actually. So let's switch this over to making PVC plastic, which is ethylene and chlorine. We have ethylene right here. It looks like chlorine actually feeds in the side, which is peculiar. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. This is not ethylene over here, though. Move it down one more. Cool. So there's ethylene feeding in over there. We have a tank of hydrogen chloride here, which is also completely full, which is unfortunate, but regardless, we'll temporarily plug this in. I forgot I got rid of all my pipes, or at least my undergrounds. Kind of a blunder. Thankfully, we can craft a few of them. I dumped all of them because I was like, we're just going to remake these in a little bit. So it'll be totes fine, and it was not totes fine. reports of being totes fine were slightly exaggerated. So combine this over here. This now plugs back in, whoops, to this, which I messed up, so it doesn't anymore. The hydrogen chloride now has an output. We just need the chlorine to go in. I'm not disillusioned to the fact that this is going to be like, heck, we need one more. Still not a proper fix because chlorine's still really, really abundant, but maybe it'll help a little bit. It also might not, but if both machines ain't running anyways, how bad can it be? Oops, I accidentally just crafted one. Oh my gosh, I'm plugging in the wrong side. I see. Telling me. Oh, the piping is so bad. Like, it could be worse, certainly, but it's not good. I can underground here. Oh, heck, I need one more underground. If I underground here, I can plug it in on the other side, and that should be sufficient to run. Cool. So now we're burning through some chlorine. I'm going to dump the one hydrogen chloride, because clearly we have an excess of it, just to keep things running for now. Another drill ran out. There's so many things to do. Did I already set up the CO2? I did. Cool. So boom, that's fine. Fix and improve this? Ah, yeah. Tell me about it. New mall location. Where did I say the new mall location was? Ah, this location's fine. Full mall redesign we're working on. Don't eat batteries is still solid advice. Let's go grab a few. Oh no, we didn't ever make underground. I was gonna go say let's go grab a few underground belts. We have never made them before, so we will have to go without for now. I can't actually. Oh no, I can belt the crest. I was like, my starter mall is too thick, unfortunately. Iron gears take plates and rods. Okay, whoops, I set this up wrong then. That's fine. I kind of waste an extra foundry doing it. Foundries are like fairly cheap though, so I'm not sweating it too much, but whoops, I thought it would just be iron ingot, but I forgot ingots and plates are different, and even then I wouldn't have expected it to need a rod. Cool, so iron gears are being made, which will go through here. Motors should be good in just a moment as well. Actually, I forgot to bring down iron plates over here, so and they double oopsie. Sweet, so let's do some undergrounds here to get the plastic over, and then we'll have our build good. We shouldn't need too many of them, as it were. This should be fine here. Then we'll do a single splitter. That's the wrong machine. Silly me. Thinking I had to go into that one. This said, boom, now it's sufficient. We're back to making inserters again, which is something. Cool. Next up, we'll work on belts because I'm mostly concerned about belts right now. So, I mean, belts is also like, once you make one belt, it transforms into this one with underground pipes, which we can make really easily, and then transform into this one with plastic. So, what a crazy setup for yellow inserters. It certainly makes you work for it. Next, we'll do belts. So we're going to want to make motors again, and motors is this cluster here specifically. I could double up on this, but like I said, I'd rather just remake every step of it. Not even counting the fluid monster you need for plastic. Yeah, no, it's a problem. Plastic is certainly a problem we're going to need to fix. So I'm going to remake this here, and I think what I'm going to do is nab from the same line if I can, since we've already pulled it off the belt here. I can't tell if that was thunder or my neighbor getting in a fist fight with the garbage can again. Hopefully it wasn't thunder. Thunder means I might disappear. Fingers crossed that the garbage can is putting up a good fight. Okay, so our motor setup will need somewhere to actually feed in plastic still, so I'm gonna flip it, I suppose. We don't have a great place to feed in plastic. You don't actually need to get iron yourself either, so we'll flip the whole thing like this instead. Yeah, I like that. That looks better. Cool, 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 cool. So now that that looks nice, let's go ahead and plug this in over here. And we'll do a very similar setup to before. We may as well. We already know how this works, right? May as well take advantage of, I was going to say the simplicity of it, but I don't know if simplicity is the right word. Can I mirror the power poles too? That actually might look kind of nice down the line. Power pole 1 is here. Power pole 2 would be over here. I think close enough. All right, and then you need plastic on the top side, which is doable for sure. Where are my splitters, right? I have to grab them. I keep assuming I have them made already, but that's what this is all about right now. Now, there is technically a downside to this, which is that I'm building extremely far away from the, I was going to say a concrete jungle, but I guess my pipes are made out of like what? What are my pipes made out of? Stone? My stone jungle? I guess it could be iron too. Oh, maybe it's only iron. I thought they were made out of stone. My iron jungle of pipes over here. But thankfully we could just use pumps to get things over here, probably. Let us go ahead and rip this across as we were doing before. And now we have motors done. Great. So we need motors, we need iron rods, iron sheets, and iron gear wheel. So most of the remainder is pretty chill now. We haven't made iron sheets up there, but we can make them down here. Iron sheets are going to be made from iron plates, I think. They are indeed. So we'll do this over here, have it direct feed because may as well. Iron plates will go, oops, over to here. And then we'll turn that on and plug it in. This is very, very similar build-wise, surprisingly. Now we also need iron gear wheels, which are iron plates and iron rods. We're crafting iron plates here. That being at 0 is a surprise to me. I wonder why the exhaust turbines got gunked. There must be a messed up connection somewhere. Because they were running like so efficiently for so long. Perhaps I messed up some sort of rule. You have a tremendous amount of steam. I see. We should have not made this so low. Probably. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. About 5k is not like necessary per se. But something higher was better for sure. Having it be 0, I realize now it's just going to fluctuate a bunch and barely kick out any steam. It's a lot better. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better. I think we probably produced enough steam to justify a few more of these down the line as well. 235 each, these eat 200 each. So we have 6 of them. Not much more though. Theoretically, we could fit like 1-ish. Either way, we need to scale that up at some point, but as long as it's working for now, let's focus on this because if we run out of supplies, it'll be really unfortunate. So we need iron rod and iron gear wheel. We have iron rod right here, so we can double feed this specific one. Iron gear wheel will need to be made probably right here. Don't need an inserter there. So iron gear wheel needs to be fed from iron rod and iron plate. Unfortunately, I don't think I can like really feasibly feed this again, so we'll use one more of these over here. Then we'll do a recipe copy, bring this across the way and then bend it upward and then feed it in over there. Now this does have the caveat where our belts are being fed upward rather than outward. Can I check future belts? Because I want to kind of future-proof this if I can. This does take belt 1. So I think the best thing we can do here by far is put belt 1 on a belt, which I know is kind of like beltception, but bear with me for a little bit. I wish these power poles were one bigger. Okay, so probably have you feed in too. But that's belts done, which is good. So we have belts done again. We need to go work on doing... These should be much easier. These should be the two most difficult things we've done to start to get our belts and our inserters going. But look at that. We've almost got 200. So once it starts going, it just rocks, which is awesome. Oh my gosh, we're out of iron. Why are we out of iron? We're out of crushed iron? That shouldn't be possible. Since they're battery analog, makes sense to get more turbines and bigger steam buffer. Yeah, absolutely. I probably need to change this rule as well. This worked a while ago to make sure the bauxite didn't get crunched up, but I need to redo the rule. I should make it 10. 10 should be fine. I need to stop setting things to 0. It's way too rough. Especially when this has a priority input. It's mostly fine. Okay, that's better. Let's finish up the rest of our mall, and then I'm going to strip down that part of the mall down there to hopefully save a little bit of power. And then we'll go work on the steam down there. Or not the steam. Yeah, I guess the steam to get more turbines and whatnot. So next up we'll be making undergrounds is the natural one because those are used in splitters. So that takes underground pipes specifically. And we actually have pipes on the belt, surprisingly. I think what I'll do here is where we drag off the pipes, because we're gonna have to do some undergrounds here, but where we drag them off, I'm also going to store them in a box as well, which hopefully we can replace with like a requester just later on, although it's possible we just might not use these pipes down the line, but we regardless need them for the moment. We're also going to need this in but a moment as well. And I think this is where the sand like goes to die as well, so like the rest of these can continue upward. But I don't think it's necessary to really keep the sand for now, at least. So this will be underground pipe 1, which we'll have to craft right here, which will be underground pipe 1, which is totally somewhere. There we go. Pipe to ground, underground pipe 1. It takes in sand in pipe 1, so this should be a pretty easy slam dunk. We brought these up here with this exact intent. We're going to want to double up on these though. Specifically, we're going to want to store some here because we're going to actually want to use these. Underground pipe equals pipeless sand. You put the sand on top of the pipe and it's underground. It's true. I feel like, and this is still my like, I don't know if hot take's the right word, but my Factorio take of all time. Honestly, you could just kind of send out undergrounds for now. But they should make it so if you put an underground pipe down, you should end up with like dirt in your inventory and have to deal with them. It's like you gotta dig up a spot to put it somewhere. Where's the dirt going? I guess just like on the ground still. Fine, valid, but still. This produces 3 per second. This consumes 3.33 per second. It's a mall. It'll be fine. I like that. I'm glad. I think it's like kind of... I think it's fun. I think it can be potentially a little bit... I don't want to say unfair. It could be potentially a little bit spicy though. So what we're going to do here is what I like to call a pro gamer move. And we're going to just put these on the same belt here for the sake of simplicity. And now, behold, we have things I should have done much earlier, but undergrounds and splitters should be good. Just leave 3 lines of each. I kind of prefer odd numbers anyways. We do have belts at the end here. We cannot filter our inserters yet. That might be part of inserter 2, so I'll just output priority right here. I'll make it as belt 1. And then we'll just have belt 1 come out one spot here and then be put into a box. Cool. So that functions good enough. We have access to all of these as well if we need to improve. Actually, how is pipe 2 made? Does pipe 2 take pipe 1? It doesn't. So it's just pipe 2 is just plastic on its own. Currently, we need to automate these just because they're furthest. I think we should move over to pipe 2 as well, especially if it's going to have... Does it have better throughput? I assume it's just pipeline extend 144 versus 64. So it's a market improvement for not needing as many pumps. So pipe 2 is definitely going to be the play, but unfortunately for pipe 2, we're going to need to take some time to improve our plastic and look at all the scary chemical stuff that I don't really have figured out yet. This said, the mall is at least up and running again, so I'm going to rip down the old one. There is a byproduct of underground pipe. That would be evil. It would be super evil, but I think it'd be kind of fun as well. If nothing else, it'd be neat, right? All right, sweet. So I'm going to wrap up our inserter maker, reclaim some of these belts as well. Rip up our belt maker as well. Oh, we didn't actually make the power pole maker up there. We may as well do that really quick as well. I could also leave it here, but I kind of want them all to be centralized. So I'm going to go ahead and make power poles up there too. I knew I forgot something. There's probably even more stuff we can set up, like pumps and whatnot too. But I really just want to get the foundational belt stuff to start. Nasty part be requiring dirt to remove underground pipes. See, that would be diabolical. Permanently, you're just stuck with your underground pipes everywhere. You accidentally delete your dirt by clicking it after putting it into a... What was that item called? Into a generator one. I'm still mad about the battery. I can't believe I voided one of my batteries. They should give me back a battery, but I also have way too much pride to cheat a battery in, so we're gonna suck it up and have 3 batteries forever, effectively. All right, so where are power poles? There they are. Perfect. Oh, I kind of want to set up a lamp too, but we don't have graphite up here, so maybe not for now. This takes plastic, iron rod, iron wire. Is there a way I can do this easily? It looks like I actually sort of can, but I think I'll do it on its own. Maybe. I could grab the rod and wire right here, which would make it super duper easy. I think I might do that actually. And just underground them. It's not as concise looking. I could also do it down there actually. Wait, no, that's a way better spot. Hold on. Yeah, no, this is like perfect. And we'll just simply underground these down here. I guess I'll move it back 1. See, this is being practical and space efficient if you think about it, and not lazy at all. Probably. Might be a little bit lazy, right? You got me. But it works, right? It's already part of our build. Cool. So now our good mall is going. Gonna rip down the rest of the old mall. Not that our old mall wasn't good. I feel bad calling it the good mall because that kind of implies our old mall was bad. I don't think our old mall was bad. It was just doing its best. Might as well if I appreciate the hydrate redeem. I'll absolutely stay hydrated. Oh, I mean, I'll try to stay hydrated. I make no promises, but I'll try. You also try to stay hydrated, though. Sometimes water just doesn't have an effect, I swear. Water is made up by big water to try and get you to buy more of it. Big rain, big cloud. Convincing you that you need water. Okay, cool. So, let's rip this down now, because this should be fine. We can also pick up these power poles. We can move them upward. So this is now no longer needed. The mall has been redesigned and moved elsewhere where it's actually modular and able to be improved. This is no longer needed as well, so we can cut this down. What does this do? This is no longer needed either. This is also no longer needed either. So now this entire build is just for mechanical engineering research. So what we're going to do before moving on from here is take down the mechanical engineering research and then replace it with a bigger one. That's it. The bigger crafter is quicker. Oh, we should set up assemblers too. We skipped assemblers. We want to set up assemblers too. Especially now that we have medium assemblers. Yeah, I know my inventory's full. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I just carry so much garbage and I'm like, what if I need all this stuff? And then I feel bad if I put it into a box because then I'm like, what if I wanted this stuff and what if it's useful? It's a real problem, regardless of that. We'll set up our science pack over there. We'll do an underground over to here. It looks like it's fine. have this offload here, and then we return back to our science. This will craft it twice as quick. I don't think it'll meaningfully matter. It'll be nice to have. Chase steak is too juicy, inventory too full. That's really what it is, though. But, like, look, if I put all these iron ingots in here, those could be iron ingots that are used somewhere. I'm being wasteful if you think about it. Okay, let's go ahead and design those as well. I might also set up medium miners, too. I think I'm going to just mull for a while, actually. That requires inserters, which we're making down here. So we can easily rip from this to make our assemblers. Requires fabrication tool. What is a fabrication tool? I know it's an equipment thing, so it's probably here. Iron plate, iron rod, iron gear wheel. Really easy to make. I say really easy to make, like not everything in this has required 3 or more items. That's mining tool 1, which I imagine we need for the drill. Let's craft a few medium assembler ones. We can start working with those. Cool. So iron plate, iron rod, iron gear wheel. Oh, I should put these in here so it doesn't overcraft them. There we go. That should be fine. All right, cool. So rod is plate and rod, or excuse me, gear wheel is plate and rod. This is really just make iron plate and iron rod. I guess I'll do that down here. I don't want to build too far downward though. I could theoretically build it with this. Maybe we'll build it adjacent to this line here. I do want to do a separate setup for this one. Oh, but if we go over here, we're going to be kind of blocking this. I guess it won't be so bad. If I do this and then have this go outward like this, and then we can just pick from it down the line, it should be fine. This does kind of encroach on them all going outwards to the right though, which is a little bit unfortunate. Regardless of that, we'll do iron rod, we'll do iron plate, and then we'll set up our medium assembler with a request for iron gear wheels. And then one more assembler making the fabrication tool 1. What's a good way to set this up so that all these can kind of feed easily is the question. I need these two to feed into here, which we can just set up by having them be closer together. I guess I'll move this one over to the side. And then I can have this feed downward or upward. And then into that. I guess it's probably easier to do it like this. I could theoretically long-handed inserter it to here. Maybe I'll do that. So Shift L. Put this over to here. I feel like there could be a smarter way to do this, but I think this is good enough, effectively. That's our fabrication tool automation. We're going to need access to the iron line to do it, though. And this is fairly tall, which is problematic. The tall part's not so bad if I put it down here, though. I can also do it much higher, but I want it to be close. I think I'll just grab a fresh line of iron. That seems like the most logical thing to do here, and we'll just build it down here. And unfortunately, I'm going to be cutting right through the power pole maker. Gosh, I couldn't remember what a power pole was called for a minute. What no sleep does to a streamer, I swear. You can place that down. We should not have to handcraft these anymore. I'm so used to it now, but look, there's 38 of those available and 20 of those. That should give us a good buffer on things we need to get done. Did I limit those boxes? It didn't look like it in my mind. I'd rather not have a box of hundreds of these. No, I toasted, okay? I was just worried about coming back and having effectively no normal belts and a crap load of everything else. Cool, cool, cool. So we'll do some undergrounds here and we'll nab another line of iron, which is kind of hurting now, to be honest, which isn't that big of a deal, but it is at least a little bit surprising to me. I guess because it's the mall like winding up that's got a pretty massive demand. But this way we can have a dedicated iron line for the rest of this build. I assume there's going to be more iron needed in it. It might not need more as well, but we can see. So Here's our dedicated fabrication tool maker. Let's get some power poles down for it, and we can see that it kicks on, hopefully without any trouble. Iron rods go through. Iron rods get fed into gear wheels, which get fed into the fabrication tool, and then the rods and plates also get fed in here. So perfect. Fabrication tools are done. Next up, we'll be setting up the rest of the small assembler one, which is inserter one. Oh, it takes belt one too. I didn't even realize. All right, so this is like the culmination of everything. I should have made this closer to the middle, actually. Heck, this line. I didn't realize it took belt one. I knew it took everything else, but I did not realize it took belt one. Belt one changes everything. If I knew belt one was on the table, I would have acted more wise. Because we kind of have to be betwixt them anyway, so... Oh, I dropped a second betwixt. Hold on. I gotta go to bed. I'm unironically so tired. Like, I can't feasibly go to bed right now. It's like the middle of the day, but still. I think this is fine here. Go ahead and manually take it down. Okay, cool. So, plug this in over here. I think what we'll do is set up a splitter to have that one go up there, and then this one go across here, and then throw these in. And now we have our fabrication tool. So what we can do here is put these both onto the same belt, effectively. I can never tell which side this will output on until it outputs. It's really Schrodinger's placement. That's exactly where I wanted it. It's so kind. So now we have two of the requisite pieces coming down. The only other thing we're going to need is an iron chest. Now, as long as we have space to belt out these things, which we do. We have space to belt this out. We have space to belt this out. It's not too much of a big deal if I build them too close to each other. So now we'll put down our medium assembler 2 over here, which can be queued up to have the small one. What does the medium one take before I get too far ahead of myself? Literally just steel beams and nothing else. We have steel set up and it's just doing nothing over here, so that should be pretty easy to satisfy. We'll preemptively set up for that as well. I'm not going to set up a box to store small assemblers. I don't really see a reason to. I think small chest is like iron plates or something. Iron rod and iron sheet's a lot more complex than I gave it credit for. We'll just make it fresh. Where can we make that? Oh, hold on. You don't think. Does that require one of these? It does. Iron rods and iron sheets. See, I'm getting to the point now where I've like designed enough where I'm like, what if we could just like use the stuff we've already done? Because we have rods that just go here to die, right? May as well rip out the rods. It becomes a little bit less clean the more I do this, but it saves a lot of time, which is nice. Iron sheets take iron plates, which aren't being used right here, so if we can tap into that over here. Kind of want to move this though so it's not all touching. So I'm going to change up our plan a little bit and just have it go over here. That's much better. Cool. Even better would be if I could make it so that... No, I think I can actually. I was going to say even better if I could make it so that this feeds directly into a crafter. Have I run out of them? I think I may have. Craft a few more. And then if this can feed... I don't remember which side of the belt this should go on. But it should be, like, feedable anyways. I think it's going to go the direction we don't want. I think regardless of left or right here, it'll always go on the low side of the belt, but it's really hard to tell. Me and directions do not mix in basically any sense of it, really. I'll make this over to a small chest instead. Oops. Small chest over here. We can direct feed the rods here, and then we can just have this kind of sneak on down. Ooh, but we can't direct feed it this way. I can if I move it back, but it'll look a lot worse if I do. Can the underground stretch one further? It can. Then that's fine enough. Because I can have it wrap around here. See, this is getting so messy, though. This is like the last messy part, though, so we'll let it slide. Cool, so now we're making a small chest one. I knew it. It's going to go on the side I don't want it to. I can have this feed out like this instead and then go on to the right side. Easy enough to fix. Less clean, but again, it shouldn't matter too much. Oh my gosh, look at our iron. It's so gunked. I mean, that's a good thing, right? We designed this in such a way where we kind of want the iron to end up gunked. Cool. So now this is making small assembler 1, which will go into medium assembler 1, which takes small assembler 1 twice and then steel beams. Steel beams are this line over here, which will also take more iron. We gotta improve everything eventually. I'm just glad to take a break from... Whoops, I don't want to do that one. I'm glad to take a break from all of the fluids for a little bit. They're kind of like super overwhelming. Like maybe it's like a little bit cringe made, I'll admit it, but still. Sweet, so we can bring steel across for the first time. I imagine it's just foundry into what you need, steel beams. Steel beam. The steel beams are made out of steel ingots in a foundry, so exactly as we expected. So we'll set up a foundry. Might as well do it directly on site here. I'll just drag this across, then bring it upward. And then make this into steel beams. That's the only thing we're currently using steel beams for, which is so bizarre to me. I'm sure there will be more use for it. I selected the wrong one. I had one job and I absolutely gubbed it up. There we go. So now, through some trials and tribulations, I think I'll actually have it spit out here and just put down an extra power pole to the side. We now have access to medium assemblers as well, which is good. A lot of these are like, oh, my inventory is so full though. I hate it here. I guess I'll go over to the large chest and dump a bunch more things. I should really go dump the refractory brick, actually. I'm going to put a small storage chest down here. Then dump all the refractory bricks in here. Grab the Roboport out of my suit and then smack it down. And then just tell him kind of to go crazy with building this stuff over here. Put the robots in there as well. It'll make us much quicker moving around. I want basically the whole thing to be brick. I'll probably give it power as well, huh? That is a pretty abundant amount of bricks there. So we'll throw these in here. Give it power for real this time. Gonna just copy this large chunk of stuff because I cannot make my thing any bigger. And we're gonna just start filling in this area here. Give them something to do. They can build all the way out to the green, right? They should be fine to continue outward. There. We probably won't have enough to do the whole thing, but it'll give them something to do for now. Keep the bots busy, and it'll also make it so we can traverse a little quicker. In my game, I built a little reminder on the side that inserters drop items for all possible combinations. That's interesting. That's a smart way to do it. Okay, so our iron is ultra gunked, but it's fine. For now, the bots will place a bunch of things. It looks like... Hopefully it'll be fine. It says they need 2,300 in total, and there's certainly more than that there. But they'll just take a while because there's only 6 bots working. This being said, we have no thing for now. I'm going to get rid of mall full redesign, because I'm going to be honest with you, I think we kind of nailed it on that one. There's more things we can make for sure. We can make pumps and whatnot. I'm fine building some stuff on in the moment, but being able to have the essentials is nice. I really wish we could make pylons. But I'm going to call that one good enough for now. Don't eat batteries. I'm going to leave that one up to remind me to not eat batteries, because that seems like a solid idea. The iron is currently gunked. Why is the iron gunked? Simply, it's running as quickly as it can, so we should probably expand it outwards more. We don't have any small furnaces available to us right now, but we can probably make some. What do we require? Some refractory bricks. Wouldn't you know, I just told the bots to use all of those for everything but that. So I'm going to steal a few of those. We're going to quickly make some more. Oh, I do have some medium furnace ones, actually. Hold on. Wait, I forgot we have medium furnace 1. Hold on. I forgot that small furnace 1 and medium furnace 1 were different. What's your smelt speed? Out of curiosity. Holy guacamole, you're twice as good. All right, let's remake the stack then. It's time. Sorry about taking down all the light, but for the moment, we have more space here, and even if we, like, again, have less of them, it's going to be more. Who doesn't love a good less is more situation? We can also move these belts with extreme ease, so there's no stress about these being in a specific spot or not. Forgot that we enjoyed that rock and then put stuff around it. Good times. Good memories from 6 hours ago in Nullius. Gonna let these hopefully continue to dump a little bit more. Oh, we craft some more of these. Being that they're twice as efficient, we currently have 12. We only need 6 to meet what we had before, but we like more anyways. Good time, big rock. So true. It's really how it goes. Currently, this is a little bit strange in how we feed. I can change the graphite output. Speaking of, I can't believe the graphite's doing as well as it is. It didn't really feel like I changed anything meaningful, but now it's like suddenly perfectly fine. Whoops. Forgot I gotta do everything by hand now as well. Can I casually sneak this up here? Yeah, I can. Really, the thing is I want to just bring this around to this area without covering the sides too much. We need a little bit more space. This should be sufficient for it. Cool, 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 cool. So let's go ahead and take these down. Oh, my inventory is full. Fine, you win. I'm dumping everything. Trash unrequested. I'll complain later about how I have no supplies, but... Good job, bots. You only have about 2,000 more to go. You're killing it. I like how you've gone for like the more avant-garde approach where just nothing is like connected and you put them down in the most random ways possible. That's what I like about bots. They really keep you guessing. You might think, oh, it'd be super efficient if they did it this way. They don't need to be efficient because, I mean, I guess they are technically efficient because they're like efficient in the fact that the game's not crashing. So that's cool. Never mind. Good job, bots. Sorry for throwing flack there. That was super uncool of me. Connect that up there so it'll run again. There's not gonna be steel anyway, so it shouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Now we have enough space to kind of offload here, which is much nicer because they're a little bit thicker than normal. May as well fill up the whole area, right? I can't see a reason not to. We're going to have this pipe also not do what this pipe is doing currently. I'm so reliant on bots already. I can tell because I keep deleting stuff and hoping it just works out on its own. There we go. That's much better. I imagine we're going to need more crushers to satisfy our demands now. We're making more of these over time. Build this upward. Get these inserters to feed into our lovely machines. Probably center feed them for aesthetics as well now that they're 3x3s. Cool. So those are good. Almost done crafting small furnace 2s for the small furnace 5s. Set the recipes on these. We can certainly get them started immediately. No real reason to wait and turn on all of them at once when it'll take a little bit of time. So go ahead and plug in what we have here. Set up a few power poles. Oops, forgot to put a middle one here. Cool, 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 cool. A few more at the bottom as well. Heck. Cease your weird wires. It's so unfortunate. If you put down the power poles in like a specific way, they'll look nice. And if you don't, they do whatever the heck this is. Oh, I never reconnected the graphite. Good point, good point. Ah, this is so nice. So this is twice as quick. We had 12 before and we've gone... I think we had 12 before, so it should be equivalent to 24 before. So it should be a really marked improvement, which is always lovely to see, to be honest. Again, I don't think our crushers can keep up. I guess we'll check now and see. These consume 0.61 per second. These produce 1 per second. Yeah, I don't think so. We're gonna need to crush a little bit more, but that's fine. So let's set up a few more crushers. I want to reset up this iron area anyway, so it's really all just like we're doing things kind of like we fix one thing and then we go, this is necessary for that, and we fix that thing, and we're just kind of cascading and improving. This is a good thing. Wins across the board for me. I'd like to also upgrade these to medium miners. So I'm going to start picking up these miners that are back here and turning them into medium miners instead. I don't think we've actually used any medium miners yet. I'm going to guess that the difference is probably double speed, which is going to be a nice boon. They're 3x3 miners as well because they're bigger. It's 0.6 versus 0.3 per second as well. So yeah, just big improvements over the board for our miners and everything. Going to move the crushing setup a little bit as well. Probably have it vertically over here and just have them go downward. The left side output ingot belt is too short. Bottom furnace can't offload. Huge. Thank you very much. I didn't notice that before. Very much appreciated. Okay, so you're done crushing. You're all done crushing. Come here. No more crushing for now. We want to keep this here because we do have the byproduct of stone still outputting here. Oh my gosh, I miss my bots. I know that they're just like over there doing something really mundane, but now that I started it, like look at how many needs to be placed still. I gotta let them do it. This is my own fault. Immediately I go to use bots again. Okay, cool. This should work. I kind of want one more though, actually. So we'll just move it one more. There we go. Now we can offload a little bit easier. We'll have the iron ore go through the... I guess I can have the iron ore go through the sides, actually. I don't know which one would be easier. It doesn't really matter. We'll just offload on the sides. This will be kind of encroaching on the iron, but it's close enough, and the pipes are going to be a huge pain to actually deal with, so let's just not deal with them. I think this spot's completely fine. I know, again, we're encroaching on this part of it, but there's not that much ore in here anyways, like a few thousand, certainly. Probably want to get this plugged in as soon as possible too, as the base is kind of reliant on iron, which is pretty atypical for Factorio. Alright, so I'm gonna disconnect all of this now, pick up these drills. We've almost started crafting the medium miners, but they look like they should be pretty quick to craft. They only have a 10-second craft time. So they should be up in no time. I think I want one more crusher. Don't know why I made so few. Probably a misinput. I could theoretically move this even further down. This iron patch really not going to last though at the rate we're going to be using it, which is a little bit spooky. Okay, so cool. That looks good. Put that ghost there for the moment. Did we get a few drills in the meantime? We totes did. They're so big now. Bigger, oh my gosh, bigger truly is always better. It's actually low-key extremely hard to see these ones. This is iron ore that was going out. We don't want this one to be crushed specifically. So I'm gonna put this one in the corner over here. This will be dedicated. You can't flip it. Wasted belt moment. Cool. That way we'll have the science still fed because that science needs that specifically. But now we have freedom to kind of replace all of our drills. So medium miner one. Something about enormous burner miner drills kind of go crazy though. We'll put the other batch right here. Just kidding. That's way too close, I guess. No, it's not way too close. Kind of looks like it is though. I'm going to drag it all the way around so we can add more of them later on. Let's start getting this show on the road because I want iron back in the base. I miss it. I'll be honest with you. Iron kind of goes crazy. I do see them. There's ore over here, so I'm going to pick up that ore as well. Oops, I didn't put the recipe in yet, so we'll make that crushed I don't even have alt on. I don't know how that always happens. Cool. Awesome. So I don't remember how many drills we had before, so this might not be a market upgrade yet, but it should be. No, it definitely will be, because if we had... I think we had like 10 before. These are twice as quick, and they have a bigger mining area, so they should last longer as well. We should probably make more of them, though. How about 4 more, and we'll call it good enough for now. I could also start tapping to this part as well. It's tough to balance. You produce 0.58 per second. We'll say 2 of these is 1, so currently we're making 5 per second. You consume 1.2 per second each. Holy guacamole, these are actually really hungry for them. So it's certainly 2 to 1, so we're actually going to want 16 of these. Alright, fine, I'm down with that. We can do 16. I was thinking I was like over-designing it, but apparently I was very much under-designing it instead. Let's go ahead and grab some iron plates, which we still have a few boxes of down here. I forgot these existed. I'm kind of glad. Not medium furnace. Don't do it. We need medium miners. Although, like, we're going to just rip through this patch, right? Like, there's no chance that this patch is going to last a meaningful amount of time doing this. Having 20 of these should be sufficient. But I'm really concerned about the lifespan of this patch. We haven't found any more iron yet either. Maybe train soon? We are unlocking trains pretty soon. From my memory, right? Train. We really need to get science up. I think after this, maybe I'll move over to purple science next. But at the same time, there's so much to redo. Like, the fluid area really needs to be redone. Other things are starting to look better and more organized, but not quite good enough yet, I feel. The dulcet tones of drills. These almost actually, like, these are fine, but these are almost, like, too much for a yellow belt, even. It's kind of a surprise to think about. But we should be fine now. These ones are just kind of insurance in case one of them turns off after a while. Cool. So redo mine is good enough for now. So far, yeah, it seems like the kind of mod pack where everything will be redone a few times when you get better machines into or better recipes. It's true. I don't mind it, though. I think it's kind of a vibe. I just really, like, me and fluids do not currently have a great relationship. There's a handful of fluids I'm a pretty big fan of, but things like propane can kind of kick rocks, to be honest with you. What did purple science take? It was rubber and aluminum wire to make insulated wire. Maybe I will set up purple science because we have a ton of rubber already. The thing that I'm thinking now is we could redo all this now, yes. And I know your first thought might be, Miko, aren't you just prolonging the inevitable? Yes, 100% I am. So anyways, let's make purple science. This takes rubber and aluminum wire. Currently our aluminum goes up and doesn't really do anything. Our rubber is made all the way down here and also doesn't really do anything. If it's any consolation, it's propane, not propane. You'll probably have to deal with propane later. Is it pronounced the same? Because it all looks like propane to me. Is it pronounced propene? There's no way. Like the pasta? I would kind of love that, but that's why I don't think it'd be the case. Right, so I wanted to make a few more of these turbines too. I'm jumping between so many things though. Thankfully, these are really, really easy to set up. Peen? Aw. Okay. That's so sad. I can't believe it's not propane. Nor propane. This low-key might be the saddest thing that's ever happened to me. Oh, I'm making a boatload of drill still. Whoops. I thought I was making these already. Sitting here like, why aren't these done yet? No ingredients. Uh-oh, I made one of them, placed it before it was the right time. Exhaust and the other ones are not right. No, closed is good. Closed is fine. I'm getting so confused with these. You're facing the wrong direction. Oh, but then you get water in you and you can't function? That's what it is. You're getting water in you. I'll have to be careful when I place them, I suppose. I keep pushing L. How goes annihilation? It's kind of heckin' confusing. But we're here, you know? We showed up. That's the important thing, I suppose. It's fun, though. Jokes aside. Maybe I'll turn a few of these into, like, backup generators. Or, like, the standard ones that are deliberately when other things are failing. Keep, like, a chunk always working. I don't know if it meaningfully matters, though. Okay, we're currently eating more steam than we produce, which is fine. Actually, we are too full on water. Did I ever set up a water dump? Actually, there shouldn't be the possibility for a water dump needed, so I'm a little bit surprised, right? These consume... I guess we just can't use the water fast enough with only these boilers. I think we can eke out more of these. Surely, right? I don't want to break everything, but I feel like it's got to be possible. What are they called? Heat exchangers, not boilers. My mistake. Heck, I can only make one of them. Stupid heat pipes. I would just put one more down for now. Just one. Because I can only make one. Okay, the heat actually goes crazy now. But then again, it like tapers off really, really hard. Oh, but it can still run. Alright, sweet. So I guess we can fit more on here. More steam is more power. We do need to dump water though, which still doesn't feel right to me. Because like, these produce 33.3 water per second. Oh, actually, no, it makes complete sense. We only need 55 on the dot, so it would make a great deal of sense that we would need a few more of those. I could temporarily dump it into the water. I don't think we'll be able to sustain enough heat exchangers in general. I could convert some of these ones over, actually. Might not be a terrible idea. I need more heat pipes. I guess we can make heat pipes right here, right? Let's put down one of our medium assemblers. Go for the heat pipes, because they need water specifically. We don't have any aluminum sheets. We don't have any aluminum at all. I put it all into boxes. Everything is awful. Never mind. Honestly, I never used solar thermal. She made do with overbuilding wind until I got geothermal. I thought about doing way more wind as well, but wind's lack of consistency kind of drives me bananas. I don't know what it is about it, but just like the fact that wind can be like... We'll look over the course of an hour. Take a look at this. The fact that wind can just arbitrarily give you nothing for a little bit. Oh, I know you can overbuild it potentially, but still. What is the origin of this belt? What is your purpose? You are a belt that was used for science many moons ago. I've run out of belts. What a tragic end. Oh, they've done such a good job. Good job, bots. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. You're almost halfway done with your 2,000 item project. Let's go ahead and grab some belts, which I have in a box over here. We'll limit that about halfway as well. Like I said, I'm not too surprised we're not making a crazy amount of belts. I just accepted my factory would randomly turn off sometimes. That was kind of the point I was at, but the thermal stuff is neat to work with. It's like a minute an hour. It's not so bad. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. Totally understandable. Okay, cool. So I can plug this back in now. Not count it as necessary because we're really backed up on geology research. We got another recipe for geology research, didn't we? Or do we not have it yet? We don't have it yet, but it exists. That's something we can consider at some point. It's so bizarre how little science you need at the beginning. Right, on to purple science. I got distracted a few times. So you need a rubber and you need aluminum wire. Aluminum wire is up there, rubber's down there. I guess we could bring both downward. That would kind of follow logic since we have only one lab right now that we need to work with. So we could try to do it maybe in this spot over here and then bring it around the top side. Let's move these batteries for now. I certainly want to be sure to replace them though and not forget about them because every ounce of power is kind of a win for me. Cool. Is that one slightly too far? It is, okay. I was trying to place them equally and then I realized that it was a little off, so no big deal to change. Cool, so where did I end up putting the stuff? I thought my plane was over here. Lab's over here. Maybe I just picked up and never put it back down and got distracted. Cool, so over here is going to be the plan for our purple science. Let's reform that stuff. The wire should be easy now that we have rubber going. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and bring rubber ideally up along this line here and just cut it across. It looks doable. There's our rubber. Yeah, no, it should be super easy. The rubber is right next to it, in fact, so heck, I'm gonna just need a second one of those. We'll just cancel the deconstruction on that. We'll do an underground here so that it'll look a little bit nicer, but we're still kind of like bunked on space. Turn this inward so it doesn't mess up our belts. And bring another precious resource across this mini mall. I guess it's not a mini mall anymore, it's just for science. But cool, we can bring rubber up here, and one of the 2 things required for one of the 4 things for science is now done. I really need my bots back, I miss them. Let's go ahead and bring down aluminum. The question is, should we make the wire on site or not? I'm thinking because this area is so tight, we should just make the wire and bring it down. Shouldn't be too difficult to do either. I could bring the aluminum across here, but I think that's a bad idea. I think somewhere like here is a little bit smarter. On the other hand, we're going to be encroaching on the steel ingots, but there's still plenty of space. So I'm going to say this line here is probably what we want. Let's go ahead and make the wire here. There's plenty of space for the moment. I think it was aluminum wire, right? Let's go ahead and check once more. It was insulated wire. Of course it's got to be wire. If it's anything but aluminum wire is one of the things that I would be very surprised. I guess it could be a different type of wire. I don't really know the wire meta. I'm actually just going to make this on the line. I don't know how many of these we want. It produces 1.4 per second. Assuming we're only going to have one science machine for the moment, these produce or eat 0.16. This needs 0.5. Okay, so one machine will be sufficient for the moment at least. Really just want to get off the ground and then we can start making these bigger. But I haven't done research in a while and I kind of miss what it feels like. This requires rods. Fair enough. In that case, we will do rods. I think you're going to need 2 rod makers to satisfy this. This makes 1.25. Nope, I was wrong. It's only 1, even better. So cool, that's done. And all we need to do is bring this down and then bring it across here. And then we have the aluminum required. Also move this up 1. And get the aluminum across here. Can't wait for a mod to introduce actual cable types. I'm sure there's like a real world reason for why cables are different, but I genuinely have no idea. Haven't the fuzziest idea what makes one cable different from another. All I know is that I wish I had fiber internet around here. Because apparently it's really good. We're definitely approaching the like spaghetti design in the base, which is spooky, to be honest with you. But not too spooky, so we're still vibing. Alright, boom. One item done. Next item, logic circuits. Probably want to have those set up anyways. How do we make a logic circuit? Graphite, plastic, aluminum wire, polycrystalline silicon. We're not currently using polycrystalline silicon, but we do make it over here. So we're probably going to want to bring it down. I don't know where we're going to want to bring it down though. I guess we may as well just bring it down this line here. Many of these are just going to be like, here's a material that it turns out we need, and we're going to need to move it over a little bit. So for now, we'll just do that. Obviously, that empty box can go. Oh, the purple science thing is still here even. We'll remove that one. So there's the polycrystalline. We already have wires coming down, probably. Although the fact that they haven't made it down yet leads me to believe I gubbed it up somehow. Oh yeah, you should probably make it so this can feed into here, huh? This produces 1.4 per second when fully satiated. This consumes 0.5. Let's make another one of these, which is going to be our logic thingy. It's not a logic thingy in here. It's a logic thingy somewhere else. A science pack that forces you to handcraft. It's made in small assemblers specifically. You know, that kind of makes sense, actually. Although that's worrying, because I kind of said this with the mindset that I wouldn't need any small assemblers. But it makes sense, because you're making something so small, right? So let's look over at logic circuits. If we make extra, which it looks like we make 0.3 and this eats 0.08, we should put these into a box for sure. So this requires graphite, plastic, aluminum wire, polycrystalline silicon. This eats 0.4, this eats 0.5. So far, this belt will be enough to satisfy both of these machines. However, we have graphite here and we have plastic over here. They're also quite close. Our plastic is still hurting. That's something notable. And of course, the further down you build in a belt, the more gunked things will get down the line. Oh, there's actually like a full line of plastic. Never mind. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, considering how this is still running. I wanted to come back here because I would like to request some underground. Give me some splitters as well. Now this is just going to be running for another 14 hours, but that's fine. Small assembler makes small things. I'm always saying this. Honest to goodness, it makes a lot of sense. Jokes aside, I think that is totes logical, and I'm here for it. I'm going to split this off here. Is there an eloquent way for me to put these onto a belt together? I think the answer is yes. Cool. Easy peasy to set that one up. Not coming out exactly where we'd like it to, I suppose, but it's fine. Drag it across here, and now we have... actually, we're going to put that across the top side. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I forgot. The thing about small assemblers, though, this here is really unfortunate. Regardless, the thing about small assemblers is that they only have so many inputs. The polycrystalline, how far down did that make it? All the heckin' way. Honestly, something about playing Factorio when you're like really tired is kind of like different. I mean, I'm often quite tired, but like I'm really out of it. So it's kind of like a bonus experience. Cool. So we're now making logic circuits. I'm going to have two different things here, but we'll just leave it for the moment. So if we can, I would like to have it so that these feed directly in. So I'm going to move these over one just to satisfy that. I guess at that point, actually, I can just pull from the same belt, huh? Keep it simple. Oh, it looks so much nicer like that, actually. This one being all like scrungly bunked before had me kind of doubting, but now this looks a lot nicer. So now we're making insulated wire and we're making logic circuits. Great. Next up is lamps. I was kind of hoping we'd make lamps for something at one point because I was really hoping to have some around. It's graphite, iron sheet, and glass. Finally used for glass as well. So let's bring down the glass. I guess it makes sense that we had all these logic checkpoints a little bit before this so that, you know, this glass, which was literally never used, now has a purpose. So we'll bring this down to the left and then downward, and we'll start making lamps down here. Lamps didn't look too bad, but I've already forgotten everything except for glass, so maybe it's really, really bad. Thought you would elongate the inserter. I do like the concept of elongating inserters, to be honest with you. It is kind of a blessed mechanic. We could do it for fun. I'm noticing that the electricity on the inserter appears to be yellow at best and red at worst. Never mind. No, I don't know. It's fluctuating. Our power is gunked right now. Yeah, it's just the stupid wind turbines. Wind turbines plus nighttime, I suppose. No, because these are on right now. Maybe they're off for a little bit. They were off. Not that it's that big of a deal. We should be fine in just some time. The wind just has to blow. No big deal. Alright, cool. So we'll go for our lamps here. It was iron sheet, graphite, and glass. Thankfully, we have graphite already, so I'm going to just underground this over to here so we can go ahead and reuse it. Again, I'm going to try my best to have it so everything can just direct feed into here. If it's possible, I'll commit to it. If it's not possible, no big deal. Alright, so we need iron sheet and glass now. The glass is currently coming down, which is no problem. Iron sheet, however, is a little bit more super convenient because I happen to have iron sheets being made right here and I didn't realize it. It turns out the game is just really easy when you don't think about it, and then as soon as you start to think about it, the easiness starts to fade a little bit. So really just avoid thinking about the difficulty of things for as long as possible. And then it won't seem so bad. That's kind of like unironically how life works, though. Like, jokes aside. The less you think about how much something sucks, the less it sucks. One more thing for us to make, which is almost certainly going to be a chem plant, because it looks like it's a battery of some kind, but it's not a battery, it's a capacitor. And capacitor, I imagine, is going to be the spicy one of the bunch. Graphite, plastic, alumina, aluminum sheet. So, unfortunately, that is, like, rather spicy. This being said, I think we're going to bring those in on a belt and go craft them over by the alumina. Kind of like it looks like an octopus kind of science. Because like alumina here, graphite's also here. I need to go, was it chem plant that was made in? Capacitor. Surely it is. Foundry, even better, I guess. So we have graphite, we have alumina, we have aluminum sheets right here. The only thing we're lacking is that plastic, which goes up here. So it's close enough for everything. This being said, this belt is actually like legitimately perfect for what we need, surprisingly. Whoops. So I'm going to move this over here and forget once more that I do not have bots because that is how we roll currently. So we've got two of the things we need. I'm going to bring it over to the plastic, make it here, and then bring it down. And then we have purple science done. One crafter of it, not inserter of it. So I'll bring this up here, and then we need, I think it was sheets, but let me check one more time. It's aluminum sheet. So I'll do a foundry here. Apparently we're out of foundry, so I'll craft one more, which is shocking because we had so many of them so long ago. Aluminum sheet takes aluminum plate. Aluminum plate takes aluminum ingot. So it's very similar to kind of what we had before for our aluminum, interestingly enough. So then we'll make this into aluminum sheets and then have it feed like this. Get some power over to here while we're finishing handcrafting a few more of them. I'm so impatient, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make it go all the time. Wait, so now, is the power pole important? Shockingly, no. So I'm gonna get rid of these ones. I guess because it connects on that side now. So this produces 1.25 per second when properly fed. This produces 0.75, but it would need two of them to properly feed. So we're going to assume it produces about one, a little under one. How many do you need for a capacitor? I think it was also in a foundry, right? You will consume 0.4, that's fine. We're going to just focus on making one for now so we can actually get the progression. Then we can make it better later. The important thing is to get it started. So aluminum sheets are good. Plastic is good. It's just right over here. So I think I'll make it in this corner like I was kind of alluding to before. These can go across here, feed right in, steal some plastic, and then we have our capacitors done. And This is purple science. Honestly, a lot easier than I had expected with how a lot of the things have gone, but it seems like it's more the trouble of like really getting everything else to make the stuff that's the trouble for this mod pack so far, which makes sense. We're gonna need to bring it down. I guess we'll bring it across here actually instead, and then we'll bring it down. There is a line right here, which if we can feed there, it would be ideal. It's so messy though. Regardless, if it works, it works. And there we go. We have capacitors coming out, and then we're going to be making electrical engineering one. I am going to do what I said before and have a box here that's going to output excess. We only need probably one stack. 50 of those feels like a good amount. I also want to do that with these as well. Sweet. So currently I have it so that the science goes out here and then builds a buffer box and goes in. I think I'm going to change this design so that our buffer box starts back here instead, so that I can double load a bell into the machine at the end. Whoops, probably not there though. Wonderful. Making science, we'll do our little buffer box shuffle here. Making one more of them. This science pack was really easy though. I'm feeling fortuitous about that. Hopefully it's still vibing. I don't love that I'm encroaching so hard on the sandstone. That's probably going to be an issue. But ideally it'll just be move a bunch of belt more than anything. Mostly about the materials in Nullius. I definitely get that vibe. Chlorine economy and petrochem balance, I think, are the main things that trip people up. Yeah, chlorine is really giving me a lot of trouble right now, so it makes a great deal of sense. Can I make any landfill in the spot? No, I need some gravel. Let's go ahead and grab some gravel. Put that down. Whoops, that's not right. I'm actually curious about something. I'm going to make it not right, and then it says it still has the same rotation speed, so this should just be fine, right? I don't think I've seen a long-handed one spin before. Okay, yeah, it will spin normally. That was kind of just for testing, though. I think it'll bother me if I set it up otherwise, though. I love Nullius and GL. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's tough to say if I like it more than... Wait, I can just go straight down here. No, I can't. Nuts. Can I go one to the right? I can. All right, cool. We're vibing. I don't know if I like it more than Ultra Cube because the novelty of Ultra Cube was so nice. I might change my mind, though, because I'm not dissuaded to the idea that this is going to take me 150, 200, 250 hours to finish. I like it more than I liked Pies so far, though. I haven't finished Pyanodons for the record. I've only played like 3 or 4 hours of it. But it feels a lot more intuitive than Pies. This being said, look, we have purple science, believe it or not. Let's go ahead and dump the science that we have picked up into here, and let's go ahead and queue up something because we've earned this. We can now make labs. That's actually kind of a big deal. Kind of crazy to think we haven't been able to make labs until now, though. We have better inserters, which are twice as quick for rotation speed. We get access to Power Pole 2, which it appears it has a better supply area by a chunk. I think it's 7 normally. Maybe it's only 6 or 8. I'm not quite sure. But we also get access to Pylon, which is very important. Power switches can be cool too. I guess we'll just queue up like everything. Destruction speed's kind of a nice buff as well. We'll start with lab. Place 3 laboratories. They really want me to start feeding multiple labs at once. They've lost their mind. Sure, let's just queue up a bunch of stuff for now. There we go, empiricism 1. Finally, only 5 science to finish. Hard to compete with the cube. It was just a really pleasant time. It forced me to learn a lot of stuff that I really didn't understand, and it had a very rewarding feeling every time. Okay, so let's make some landfill because I want to do some stuff over there. Sure, we'll do tan ones. We have plenty of sand apparently. I wanted to landfill this part in particularly. Okay. Is that not... Oh, I thought that was water over there. It's just blue. Alright, my bad. Cool, so we can now craft labs. It looks like we require basically everything for science, as it were. Not like literally everything, but effectively everything for science. And one of our checkpoints is to place 3 labs, so we may as well do that. We'll probably daisy chain our science for now, just because of where we have the lab, but we do have the luxury of moving our labs and stuff now. I guess we could have technically moved it before, but most of the science is being made here regardless. So aluminum sheets do come down here, right? Or do they not? Nah, they only go up there. And then some logic circuits, which apparently can't be handcrafted, which is good to know. I'm glad I started putting these in boxes preemptively. Kind of a rough thing to not be able to handcraft. Sweet. So we will place 2 more labs, and that means we'll change how we feed our science. Tool making 3 is also complete. So we'll place our landfill over here and have a nice old sand colored circle, I suppose. I guess it's a square, a cube, perhaps one might say. Currently this science should probably, I want to double load, I think, all of our sciences. We only have 4 right now, right? We only have 4 sciences? You gotta be kidding me. There's probably only like 5 sciences, right? We're almost done, I would guess. Gotta be getting close. In case it's not empirically evident, that is in fact a joke. I do not think we're getting close. Cool, so that was apparently a very important power pulse. Let's restore that one really quick. Go ahead and dump all this back where it needs to be. And now that we have a little bit more space, we can bring these lines together over here and then hopefully feed some labs. There's our checkpoint for laboratory demonstration. A small victory, but a victory all the more, and I'll certainly take any victories we can get right now. Gosh, our pulls are rough though. Chlorine is tricky, but at least sodium hydroxic is basic and can be pretty caustic if you get it wrong though. Look, I appreciate a good chemistry joke. Even if I don't totally get them all the time, I can still appreciate them. Okay, is there any more researches that we can do? All right, we have access to geology too. This makes geology research 1, but takes way less materials to make them, even though it looks like way more. I don't know what calcium carbonate is either. Then we have computation available, which is going to be arithmetic circuits. Energy distribution 2 is done. Guess I'll just put the rest of the science in here because we're sitting on some purple. We don't make enough purple to satisfy research, but with buffer and stuff, it should be fine enough. It's running at full speed, which is good. Okay, so with those researches done, it doesn't look like we have any more other than doing a few more checks, which is consuming hydrogen canister, which is interesting to me, and making a lubricant. Cool. Cool. Looks good. What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's only 2. I was thinking it's much later. I think, regrettably, I might call stream super early today. I'm genuinely not feeling all that stellar. I'm so heckin' tired. So we set up purple science. I think we'll pick up again next week, but we're gonna call it for the moment. It was a fun time. I know it's fairly early. I apologize. I just really don't feel well from not sleeping much last night. Tomorrow we'll be doing Back to the Heavens. On Friday we'll be doing Final Fantasy, and then we'll be back to Nullius on Monday again. But for the moment, I'm gonna wrap up. Hopefully you had a lovely time, and hopefully I'll be seeing you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Bye.